What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Luke, it's always, the live stream is alive. It's always a work in progress. So please forgive me if the audio levels are not perfect every time. Doing my best here. I've fixed the alerts for those of you who were here last time. I fixed the alerts across the board. The audio level should be good. Everything should be cool. So today should be a lot of fun. How's everybody doing today? I see the chat is like popping already before we even got the stream started. I love you guys. Live streaming has become absolutely enjoyable, fun. This is my favorite thing to do on YouTube for sure. Vegan vs. John stream right now. Is John on stream with Vegan Gains, or is it some other kind of... Is it just Vegan Gains ripping on him? What's up, Hannah? What's up? Man, we got so many people. All the familiar faces, of course. RC, Honest, Luke. I like you guys, too, playing both sides. Like RC, this guy. I see this guy in the vegan videos. I see him in my chat, in my comment sections. I see him all over the place. So, there's people that are my kind of people. You're questioning me. You're questioning the vegans. You're questioning the other carnivore guru doctor people. I am no guru. You guys know that. That's not what I'm trying to say. T-Tribby, how you doing? Drew wants to learn how to become an immortal light being like Raw Bliss. I don't know if he's an immortal light being. I don't know if he would even call himself that. But we'll see what he has to say. I feel like there's not been a fair shake of poor Raw Bliss, man. AKA Austin. He'll be joining us in about 30 minutes. If you don't know, I'm going to do my first little 30 minutes with you guys. Get reacquainted. It's always, it's about twice a week that I do a live stream. So we got a lot of stuff that gets, happens. So we gotta catch up a little bit. Then we have Austin on, AKA Raw Bliss, at 5 Pacific Standard Time. And then we'll have him for a couple of hours. And then we'll do our little outro as we usually do. Ted Carr did say he was available for the show today. I didn't get back to him. He only had a small window, so I would have liked for that to work out. Would have been Ted Carr, Raw Bliss, and then myself, of course. But Ted said he had a very short window, and unfortunately, he couldn't make it during the times that I wanted. We got Durian Writers. we got Durian Writers hitting me up. Durian Writer, please, Harley. We're busy right now. We're best friends. We're best friends over here, guys. What can I say? Where do you donate Bitcoin? You can send that directly to my PayPal. I'll send you the link private. Hit me up on Instagram. Drew, please make the effort to save him. I know you're not Jesus and you're still very vegan positive, but dude needs an intervention. Convince him to start eating meat. That's not what we're doing today. We're not doing that today. What we're doing today is I've done a fair bit of research. I know, Drew takes different approaches to different conversations. And today I have 10 questions for him that I created that I want to follow up on, and I want to see what he says. This isn't like an interrogation by any means. I know some people would love that, but that's not what we're here to do, man. Different people are interested in coming on the show for different things, and I have to meet them where they're at, where their interest levels lie. Nitty Gritter, please talk about the gains your boy Plantriotic is saying he's making. He's literally selling nutrition and workout plans, which I think is outlandish with his physique. All right, here we go. Let me make a public statement about my boy Jackson Foster, aka Plantriotic. So Jackson hits me up the other day, or he tags me in one of his Instagram posts. I've gained 25 pounds. Drew Morgan, where are you at? Blah, blah, blah. All right. So first of all, Jackson has really good ab genetics. Let's get this out of the way. So Jackson is very lucky to have a very lean abdominal section, no matter what he's doing. This is 100% genetic. I actually have the opposite. My arms are always lean. My face is always lean. Jackson gets fat in his face, and he gets fat in his arms, and he gets fat in his legs. I get fat right around my stomach. So what he's doing is he put on 25 pounds of fat, pretty much, you could see it in his arms. His face is all round now. Jackson, no offense to you, bro. No offense to you. I would say this to you directly if you were here in person. Round face, big old round arms. I mean, he put on 25 pounds in 6 months. So what? I mean, I gained how much as a vegan? I went up to 158 or 156 as a vegan. I'm like 148 right now in the morning. I've gained a few pounds, guys. I've gained a few pounds. Oh! Yeah, that's a lot of water weight on him. And a lot of fat in the arms, a lot of fat in the face. Just saying. I'm not saying this to be inflammatory or like I'm just trying to make the audience laugh here. That's my genuine assessment of it. After watching a million people gain muscle and gain fat over time. No personal offense, but that's just the way that I see it. That's the way that he looks to me. Just eat carbs, bro. I do eat carbs, actually. ZPA, I do eat carbs. Check it out. I ate these chocolates last night. See these? Ghirardelli chocolates. They're not very good, by the way. These are not very good. I'm not a fan, actually. Wait, did the camera just focus right there? It did. I thought I took that off. Anyway. By the way, guys, I need somebody who's got a keen eye, who's watching the stream closely. If you guys see the camera flickering the focus, please let me know. I want to disable that. I do not like that. It's been annoying me when I've been editing the videos. So please let me know if you guys see that. Say, Drew, that autofocus is tripping, and I will disable it. Wow, we already got 130 people in here. Let's get the numbers up. Everybody hit that like button. Let's get this in everybody's recommended videos. People who don't even know nothing about carnivore or vegans. Let's get everybody in here. Just pile in. Vegan Gains, get on in here. John Venus, get on in here. I've been coaxing Red Pill Vegan. I've been coaxing him to come on my show. Vegan Deterioration, shout out to my girl, Shar. I love Shar. So you're saying he's a fat hoe? No. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm just saying it's a lot of fat. It's not an impressive look, bro. Okay? I weigh like 20 pounds less than Jackson, and let's just pull up the flex here. Let's pull up the flex. 20 pounds less. Drew, were you ever fruitarian? Good question. I did raw veganism for 30 days. I thought fruitarian made a lot of sense to me. When I first went vegan, I was like, this makes a lot of sense. The bioavailable nutrients, the instant sugar, the raw food in nature. This is how we would do it. But I never went fruitarian, although I did do raw till 4 for long periods of time. And I enjoyed the fruit part of the diet. I ate a lot of bananas. I ate a lot of oranges. But it just... Anybody who eats a lot of fruit, and this was the case with every single vegan I knew in Hawaii, people I knew in real life, we all ate together on a daily basis, we lived together, etc. We would all eat fruit all day for breakfast, for lunch. It was very normal. And to shout out to Ted Carr in the chat. Hold on one second, Ted. What we would do is we would eat fruit all day, and then at nighttime, all of us were ready for a savory meal, like potatoes and beans and stuff like that. Ted Carr says, if so, he's got to go study some Raw Bliss. Ted, I think we'll pass today just because I wanted you after about an hour with Raw Bliss. I want to give him his shine the first hour on the show. If you could come on, at 6 PST, I would love to have you on. But if not, I totally understand. We'll have you on another time, and we'll figure something out because I want you on the show again very soon. That our interview together remains one of the most popular on the channel. Sunfruit Dan is with us. Sunfruit Dan, he can never get away from the name. It was a good name, Sunfruit Dan. I liked it. We got Teddy, we got Dan, we got all the familiar faces. Mark Bousquet, Ashley Noel, I love how I can recognize it. Omid Hamadanian. I don't take advice from people less successful than me. Same goes for aesthetics. Omid Hamadanian is a huge Wes Watson fan. Shout out to Wes Watson, GP Life. 5:30, Ted, 5:30. We'll see where we're at. We'll see where we're at. I don't think so. I'll just Ted another time. Next time. I wanted you on, but next time. I need to give the boy a shine. I have 10 questions I have prepared for him. Rosalind, how you guys doing? How's everybody doing? Just boost the numbers. Everybody hit like. Make sure you guys hit like. Or hit dislike. Hit one of them. Just press the button. YouTube loves that. Finish your story, bro. Which story? I hate when I don't get to finish stories. But I forgot what I was talking about. What low-carb bars do you recommend? You know what? Hang on. I might have some right here. Give me 1 second. Do I have them? Give me 1 second. Drew, what is your workout schedule like? Every other day, full body routine, overhead press, into squats, into deadlifts, into barbell rows, into the bench press. Then I do a superset of curls, tricep pushdowns, squat machine, and hanging leg raises. And I do everything for 3 sets. Product placement here, guys. Let's get a sponsorship by Epic. How dope would that be? Epic, you asked about the bars. These things are amazing. Check this out. So they're low carb because they're basically just beef jerky. But you get these like... Epic sent me these. They sent me probably like $80 worth of product. It's pretty dope. They're very good. They're very tasty. And then they got like the chicken sriracha flavor. They're all good. They're all really good. So anything that comes out of this black box at the store, grab it, buy it. Epic's not quite a sponsor of the stream, but they sent me some free product. So that's pretty cool. The Fruit Man will be on in 17 minutes, approximately. Okay, this is boring AF. Sorry, Clyde. I thought you were asking for a story. I thought you were being cool like 2 seconds ago. Guys, is Clyde being a dick? Who's Clyde? He sounds like a dick. I'm making somebody a mod so that they can get the pleasure of banning Clyde. Who wants the mod? Who wants the mod that's not already a mod? Speak up if you want mod. If I recognize your name, I'll make you a mod. You can ban the guy. You get your first ban. Haka! Cut that mother. Say, I want mod. I'll make you mod. And you get to ban. Drew, what's your overhead press? I was doing 5 reps of 50 plus 45. 95. Not very heavy. And then I've actually lowered it down. I've lowered it down. Because I was like not getting enough reps. Okay. Hold on. Me bro. Knitter Gritter. Ooh. Okay, I do recognize you. Kobayashi. Okay, Omid Hamadananan. You're getting modded, but you don't get to ban. Jake Jesse. Do I recognize Knitter Gritter? Are you going to be a good boy, Knitter Gritter? You said it first. Okay, he's getting the mod. He said it first. Okay, be a good boy. Be a good boy with it. Let's let Clyde have any last words. Clyde, you're going to be a good boy? Clyde, speak up. Any last words? This is execution style Game of Thrones. We've got the mod. I added Knitter Gritter. You're the mod now, baby. Clyde doesn't have any last words. All right. I told you. Ban the man. Ban the man. He said nothing. This is like, Trump back in the day on, what's that show called where you're fired? If they didn't speak up, Get him out of here. Get him out of here. I'm totally down with dicks, but don't be trying to play me in the chat. You can disagree with me, the guests, with people in the chat, but don't be making stuff up trying to just rattle my cage over here, all right? Conscious Calisthenics, Raw Bliss, Drew, Morg. Dan, Sunford Dan wants a Raw Bliss collab. You got it, man. You got it. Ted Carr with the $2 donation. See you at the Canada Vegan Fest this August, Drew. Hey, I'll be there. Where's my alert? It better pop up.
And
that's not
here
it.
comes a real steak. But just look at the texture of this thing.
Is that better for you guys' little ears? Because everybody was like, True, the alerts are too loud. I couldn't hear the guests. I wanted to hear Durian Ryder. I prefer them full volume because, in my opinion, if you're sending in super chats, you deserve to just take over the stream for those 7 seconds. Ted Carr does say, see you at the Canada Vegan Fest this August, Drew. I'll be there, man. I'll be vegan for the week. I can't wait. Love it, love it, love it. Shout out to Ted Carr, the Canadian fruit master. He's the host of the Canada Fruit Fest. If you guys happen to be vegans and you guys live West Coast Canada, you guys should probably check it out over on Ted's Instagram or YouTube if you like that type of thing. Ted, the expert on cooked food now. Right, Ted? Right? Hi, Marielle. How you doing? Marielle Bishop. Ted Carr would like to see me on Joe Rogan. I don't think I am ready for Joe yet. We're getting there. He said your show's boring. Why you mad, bro? Raw emaciation. That's a good name. You get to stay. Oh, yeah, he said I was boring. Yeah, I don't like that. That's a trigger for me. Don't call me boring. Do not call me boring. You call the show boring, you're getting banned. I don't care. Get out of here. Nobody wants to hear Durian Ryder the R word. Okay, you can only say that when he's in the channel. All right, Wizard? Let's keep the R word down a little bit. YouTube algorithm doesn't look kindly on that. Ted Carr's a cooked food noob. Well, what are you eating, Ted? I hear you're eating a lot of potatoes. I don't know what you're doing, Ted. Remember in Hawaii when I had to tell you that avocados don't have protein in it? And you were just shocked. Ted Carr, fitness, nutrition expert legend, thought avocados were high protein. He was a little off. I'm very happy that you made it to the live stream, Marielle. All of you that have been around forever, that have been supporting the show since day one, you're amazing. I mean, look at these numbers. We got 200 people in here already, and we don't even have the guests yet. Love it. Meat Lover says, not boring. Your channel is great. Very balanced. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. So if you are tuning in for the first time, this is your first time watching this show, this channel, the purpose of this live stream, what I want to bring to the table here is a crossroads of vegan carnivore nutrition. Because if you think about it, those are two ends of the spectrum, right? And today we're going on the far, far end, the fruitarian spectrum. We'll hear anybody out that wants to come on the show and say their piece. They'll get a fair shake here. I want to learn from them, and we can have a conversation, and I want that knowledge to be shared and passed to the audience. Now, just because I have a guest on doesn't mean I agree with their food philosophies, personally speaking, but I want there to be a place where people can come together and speak to each other in a somewhat mature, respectable format. So this is the place to do it. Because we've got the vegans and the carnivores and the vegan infighting and all this crap. Just, you're not allowed to fight here unless I say so. It's like the Outpost where everybody comes together and everybody's just like, hey, we'll agree to not shoot each other in this place. You go outside, you want to shoot each other. Drew, has Frank Tufano agreed to be on his show? Yes, he has. He has agreed. Deutsche. Frank is down. I had to sell him a little bit. but he's down. What's up, Seeking Truth in Christ? Seeking Truth in Raw Veganism. Yeah, I've got a lot of requests on how to handle Raw Bliss today. What to say to him. Convince him to eat meat. Convince him to eat more calories. So we'll see what happens. Hailman, what's up, bro? Where's Raw Bliss? Did I miss it? No, you haven't missed it, man. He's coming on in 10 minutes. Raw Bliss in 10 minutes, everybody. If you're tuning in right now, hit the like button. Go grab yourself a little bowl of ice cream, a coffee. We're going to get into some nice conversation with our boy Austin, Raw Bliss, for 2 hours. All right? I'm not moving anywhere. This house will have to burn down before I move out of this chair. The local people give him fruit for free. Is that real? The online herbalist says, Drew, your religious views? I grew up Catholic. I went to Catholic school from a baby till 8th grade. And then I begged my parents to go to public high school. Thanks for the to the Moore gang. I basically have no religion now. So I guess you would say atheist. But if I had to side with any religion, honestly, at least Catholics are hardcore and they're about their business. So I respect Catholics. I really do. Will you have Robert Cassar on? Robert Cassar is another guy who's down to come on the show. He said anytime. So I just have to, I go through phases of hitting all these people up. They all get back to me at various times, and then I have to set the dates. It's pretty crazy. Everybody's all over the world. Raw Bliss is in Thailand. You know, I scheduled Durian Rider, Bart K, and Sunfruit Dan last week. They're in Thailand, New Zealand, Australia. I'm in California. They're literally on my show. It's Saturday here, and they're on the show Sunday afternoon. It's a trip. It's hard to schedule everybody. Carnival. Good to see you, my brother. Honest AF. Oh, yeah. Got all the homies. Did you have to work hard on Frank to get him to come on? I did, actually. I kind of had to, I had to butter him up a little bit. He just wanted a little reassurance that he wasn't walking into a booby trap, because he said that the people that I associate with on a regular basis are not exactly friends of his and not exactly nice to him online. So I just said, hey, man, that's them. That's not me. Just because Tristan says stuff about you all the time on Primal Edge Health, that's not me. Just because I'm on the live stream with him and he's making fun of you, that's still not me. I want to have a fair shake with Frank. I don't even know what that conversation is going to go like. So if you guys have any ideas, hit me up. See, a lot of the guests, they do agree to come on, and I'm like, okay, cool. I've got them down to come on the show. But what the hell are we going to talk about? Me and Frank don't really have any... we don't have any disagreeing views, really, I don't think. So... Is Raw Bliss in the chat yet? He probably is lurking around soon. I just sent him the email for the invite for the stream, so. I wish Bobby could make it to my streams, but he's on that European time zone. Unfortunately, Europeans have a tough time making it to this time slot, but we got to do what we got to do. Vegan Gains and John Venus are yelling at each other on live right now. See, this vegan infighting, let's tune in real quick. I got to take a peek. I got to see. You guys want to see some of that? They better not get me demonetized with their whining. Vegan Gains. His trigger happy wife banning me, blocking me from the chat. Mario Bishop with the big $30. I think that's the biggest donation we've had on the stream. Love you always, Drew. You're one of the leaders of Healthy Way of Meat Eaters. Thank you, Marielle. I appreciate that.
Loaded up the bong, threw a little pinch of the fairy dust on it, and I took a rip. Huge fucking bong rip, dude.
That's my favorite. Thank you, Marielle. I need to turn that up. That's not loud enough. I'm sorry, guys. We're cranking it. Super chat should be just blasting. Marielle, huge thank you. Really, really appreciate that. That's huge. All right, let's tune into this real quick, guys, because Raw Bliss is going to be on this video. Ooh, it's hot already. Whoa. The language. Hold on. Here we go, boys.
I didn't try to prove that you weren't vegan. Look, I didn't try to prove at that time that you weren't vegan. I just tried to prove that you were lying. Like, this was just an attention-seeking measure. Look, I don't like the idea. I don't like the idea of somebody trying to capitalize off of veganism, like in such a way where you're basically trying to just get views and clicks to say by saying I'm no longer vegan. That's literally all you were trying to do. And I don't like the idea of trying to I don't like the idea of you trying to capitalize off of it in such a way.
How is it me trying to capitalize off of veganism by saying that I don't want to, use a vegan label? I just don't get it.
Okay,
how are you not trying to capitalize from it, from promoting your coaching while discrediting mine? I mean, you're the one trying to capitalize from that.
Look, John,
I love it, baby.
That was like a joke at the end of the video. Yeah, I was doing online coaching. I was doing online coaching at the time, and I thought it was like a snarky joke at the end.
No,
and John, the reason it's capitalizing off of veganism, and in a way that I disagree with, is you're trying to make it seem as if veganism is a dirty word. Like it's something that you should be ashamed of, that you shouldn't associate with, as if you're basically trying to make veganism into a joke by making these stupid videos where I'm no longer vegan, I no longer identify as vegan. I don't like that. And look, you were clearly fucking lying in that video, and if you actually meant what you said, that video would still be up on your fucking channel.
Look at this. Drew Morg, enjoy heart disease.
Look bad here,
Who's making veganism look bad here? Yeah. Dude, I'm the one who's fucking telling you what veganism fucking is.
Well,
you are not looking your best,
your tone
Richard.
And just from your arrogance, it already answers the
question. Ooh, the arrogance!
Okay, so John, again, because I'm offending you, therefore I'm a bad advocate for veganism?
I'm not offended. I'm not offended. I'm saying that you are extremely hypocritical in what you're saying. You're saying I'm trying to capitalize from certain things. I'm lying while you're doing the exact same thing.
Okay, explain. What am I doing? What am I lying about? What am I trying to capitalize off of? What am I being a hypocrite?
Thank you, Judas, for the $10. Big appreciation. Big appreciation.
From criticizing and hating other people, from ruining their lives. People.
Ooh, okay. Okay, we have our guest. We have our guest of honor. This was juicy. I would have stayed for this a bit more, but our guest is here, and we're going to have to let that ride. Now, Austin, I saw you in the chat there, bud. Make sure you check your email. I sent you the link for the Zoom, and it's ready for you. So just click the link, come on into the Zoom, and I'll pull you on the stream. And I should be able to see you right when you get here, so it'll be no worries. Wow. There we go, Austin. Hopefully he can hear me. There we go, I can see you, buddy. Can you see me? Someone says, you're on mute till I see him. Okay, I'm on mute, all right. Hey, Austin, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Perfect. Ooh.
Cranberry.
Let me get you on full screen here. Give me 1 second.
Penis or vagina.
Hey, I want to say I'm a big fan, actually.
Okay. I appreciate that, my man. Hang on 1 second. Let me get you dialed in here. There we go.
Level-minded.
Hey, thank you, man. That's what I try and do around here. We've all been through the stages of health, trying to find good health. I see a lot of the carnivores, like let's say, and we'll get into this real quickly, a lot of the carnivores who have never gone vegan or sought that angle of health or fruitarian or raw vegan or whatever, they don't understand that a lot of people go that angle, go that route because like that's the information that they're presented with. It seems like a good idea, it genuinely does. Not every vegan is this crazy wacko, some are, but
exactly.
But hey, that's what we're here to find out. That's why I said like this is the channel where I want people to feel comfortable coming on. You actually reached out to me in one of my comments, and I was shocked that you like said anything in my comments. So I was like, hey man, we got to get this guy on the show immediately. So anyways, welcome to the show, everybody. This is Raw Bliss, aka Austin. You've been like the talk of the town, especially on the Carnivore channels. Even the vegans got their things to say to you. And I appreciate you coming on the show. And I have a few things that I've kind of prepared to just conversational topics, basically. And, you know, I've had like a lot of people in the chat giving me their idea of what they want this interview, this discussion to be, but that's not going to really affect what I want to talk to you about today. So appreciate you coming on. I think it's a pretty ballsy thing to do, to be honest with you. So
Great.
Welcome.
I appreciate you having me on.
Let me get your microphone turned up a little bit. I don't know if you have any control of that over there, but I know it's going to be a little bit low on my end.
I don't think so.
Okay, give me 1 second. Going to take you off just for half a second here. Always the fun. Go ahead and say one thing. Just say hello.
Hello.
Okay, we're going to boost you up there. All right. Okay, now you should be better. And we're back. All right, great. Okay, guys, chat, I know you guys are popping off. You guys are going to be doing your thing like you normally do, and I love you for it. I will acknowledge super chats as they pop up, but just in order for me to give respect to the guests and actually have a real conversation, I can't do both. I'm a terrible multitasker anyways. So, Austin...
I gotta put on do not disturb mode. Jeez.
Go ahead and do that, man. Do what you got to do. Settle in.
Yeah, we're good.
Cool. All right, so... yeah, man, I know that there's like so many people after you and saying stuff to you lately. Is there anything that you kind of want to start off with? Maybe like what made you want to come on the show so quickly? You didn't ask any questions. You were just down.
Well, first of all, I want to say rest in peace to Robert Lockhart. I know you said you wanted to talk about that, and a lot of people are blaming the fruitarian diet for what happened to him.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to just say, first of all, 75 in the day and age we're living in this toxic world, 75 is pretty good. You know, I met the guy in the Philippines, actually, amazing, full of life, and he's climbing coconut trees. He's walking on his hands. You know, the guy's like really fit at 75. Like I saw him last year. So I just want to start out by saying that it's more about like the quality of the years rather than quantity, in my opinion.
I do agree with that.
So yeah, I do have some notes here. His family members made a quote about the cause of the death.
Yeah,
which
I'm glad you have that.
Which was a few things. So he actually had 3 cardiac arrests. The first one being before he came to the hospital, which was came to him after a 72-hour dry fast. He was trying to heal himself from pneumonia. I have my own theory behind this because when you're not getting proper hydration and your lungs are like 83% water or something. So when you're not getting enough hydration, he was, I guess it's important for context. He dry fasts a lot. So he's more of like a breatharian rather than a fruitarian, really. He dry fasts for 19 hours every day. You know, a lot of times 24 hours, 48 hours. And he's only eating in this short 4-hour window between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. And he's eating very minimally, like 1 or 2 fruits, you know, 1 or 2 different fruits. He's not getting much variety. He's not drinking much like coconut water. He has free coconuts on his property, but he's not getting the proper hydration he needs. And all these organs that he has are just, not going to function properly, especially with all the amount of exercise he does. He works in a farm. He plants a lot of trees. He's under the sun all day, like in the tropics in the Philippines. It's crazy hot. And I think that like really contributed to his overall health. Like hydration is so important, like 70% water. And yeah, I just feel like he wasn't getting proper hydration in the hospital. His kidneys failed because he didn't have the proper electrolyte balance. Not enough potassium.
Did you read the part where his doctors x-rayed his kidneys, I guess, and they said that they were extremely small and undersized for how they were just undersized basically, and they attributed that to a very low protein diet, as specifically what he was eating. Like they were very almost like disappointed that he came in that condition. And the kidneys, I guess, they affect the ability to heal from the pneumonia symptoms. So because the kidneys were, it was a like a domino effect. The kidneys were just undernourished for so long, they eventually kind of failed. He tried to dry fast to get out of it, and then he admitted himself to the hospital. And then once he did that, the pneumonia the kidneys couldn't function properly to actually heal him through the disease, and it just got him. So yeah, pneumonia was like the cause of death, but really it was a symptom of the failed kidneys to begin with, which was a symptom of the diet potentially for 30 or 40 years, however long he was fruitarian. I guess it was like a really long time.
40 years. I haven't heard about the doctor talking about the protein. I don't know where you heard that, but I know there was significant scarring for sure.
Okay. Do they know what that was from, or?
I don't know, but again, I attribute it to all the dry fasting.
Okay.
So let's see.
And
he also had melioidosis, which is a rare disease found in tropical soil.
Mm-hmm.
So
I read about that.
His immune system was weak. Like if he had a stronger immune system, he probably could have fought it off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's see.
That was a statement, by the way, that where I got that idea about the protein was I watched Ted Carr's video about it when his first video on Lockhart's death, and like one of the first comments was a copy and paste of the ex-wife's statement, I guess, that showed the information that was like the statement from the hospital, basically. I don't know if that's real or not, but that's what I saw, and then that comment is now gone, so I don't know what the deal with that is.
Yeah, I have the quote in my phone. I didn't see anything in there about protein, but maybe I'll recheck that. So yeah, Rob was a big fan of Arnold Ehret, which is a naturopath who promotes dry fasting.
The mucusless diet.
The mucusless diet, which is another interesting thing because we need mucus in the body. It helps protect from inflammation, and yeah, he was a big promoter of this. He didn't eat like things like coconut meat or durian because Arnold Ehret said, these foods cause mucus, and mucus is bad. Mucus causes disease. Not necessarily true, but yeah, Arnold Ehret, he was obsessed with him for like 10 years, I believe. I don't want to say obsessed, but he started more into the dry fasting just 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, he was eating a lot more fruits, a lot more hydration.
Does it worry you a little bit though, like the whole fruitarian thing? I mean, this is the big first notable vegan that I can think of that's passed away. Granted, he is 75 and he was, in otherwise good health, but that almost like makes it even scarier for me that he was essentially doing relatively well and then had like you said, 3 cardiac arrests. I mean,
Right.
you know, a lot of domino effects though. Like it's the weakened kidneys, it's the a weakened immune system. Then he's getting this weird bacterial soil disease, and then, you know, it's just like everything basically happened to him all at once. Is because he kind of just had a very weak system. And I think when a lot of, you know, normies look at him, a lot of the bystanders that are just regular people on YouTube or whatever, they're seeing this guy and they're saying, well, couldn't you tell? Like, look at the guy. The last 10 years on YouTube, he was like so skinny. His skin looked old and saggy. You know, like my grandma was just here this weekend and she's 79. I mean, she doesn't look like that. And she eats just everything. She eats butter. She eats tons of cakes and candies. I mean, she looks way healthier than that guy. And she's also doing dancing lessons and stuff like that. I mean, now granted, that's better than the average 79-year-old. But when you look at him, especially when you consider the fact he's allegedly doing like the healthiest diet known to mankind, it's a little worrying, don't you think? I mean, don't you see him and be like, well, there's a little bit, something's wrong here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And, you know, diet is only one piece of the puzzle. We don't know, like, I've only met him briefly. I don't know what he does all day, every day. You know, if he had a very stressful life, I think that's the biggest contributor for, you know,
I mean, we're pretty sure
aging.
we're pretty sure that he didn't though. Like he lived in the jungle. He was like pretty much living the perfect tropical island lifestyle. You know what I mean? Like I've lived that lifestyle. I was in Hawaii. I did that same thing, you know, kind of probably similar to what you're doing. You're in Thailand doing the similar thing.
I'm in Malaysia.
Oh,
But
Malaysia,
what I
yeah.
mean is like he's always exercising. He's always out in the sun. Just, like possibly too much sun exposure. But yeah.
Cool. Like how did you, I don't know if a lot of stuff is known about you, at least outside of your channel, you know, because it's still relatively small, but you've caught the wonderment of everybody at this point.
Yeah.
You know, like take us back to the beginning of your fruitarian days. Like what made you want to do this? Who were your influences? Who did you sort of, where did you get your information about it? What made you want to do it in the first place?
Okay. So it pretty much started as an elimination diet. I was like, I was at a point in my life, like, very depressed, very addicted to drugs.
What kind of drugs did you do?
Right. Mostly weed, for like, 8 years of my life. I was also into ecstasy, mushrooms, LSD, cough medicine, stupid things. But then I came to a point like after, it was a couple different things, but it was mostly LSD and mushrooms when I took like a higher dose. And I came to a realization, essentially, people call it an ego death. And after the experience, I woke up feeling like a different perspective on life. I had more, I don't know, it's just like something opened my perspective so that I could see the things that I was doing wrong in my life. So I started looking into health, like how I could get more healthy. I was 230 pounds at the time.
Wow.
Which is about 90 kilos or so, 100 kilos.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'11". So at the time, I was very depressed. I lived in Seattle, Washington, where it rains like 10 months out of the year. Very sad place. Everybody's on drugs. You know, it's very easy to get drugs. They're cheap. And so I just started going down this health path, started just researching anywhere I could, YouTube, just Googling things up. And then I found, who was it? Dan McDonald, the Life Regenerator on YouTube. He was like the first fruitarian. And, you know, obviously he's a little out there. he's a little outside the box, crazy, some might say, but
I love Dan McDonald.
Yeah, he's a character for sure. So yeah, I started experimenting with juicing. Like I bought a juicer, and I did a 40-day juice fast actually on just all the different types of juices I was making. You know, different concoctions, different combinations, and it was really an amazing experience. I lost. I didn't do like a proper like weigh in before and after, but I lost a significant amount of fat during that 40 days.
You went from straight up like standard American diet to 40 days of juice fasting?
No. Okay, I guess I should go back a little further. So I did a vegetarian diet for just 1 month. I cut out meat just for ethical reasons, for like the new year, you know, a New Year's resolution. And after that, I felt better, but I still didn't feel great. I still had I had cystic acne as well. That was one of the major skin problems I had. And I still had the cystic acne, and I was like, okay, what's causing the acne? And then I like started looking into like the major causes of acne, and I found dairy was, you know, a big thing. So then I cut out dairy for a month, which, you know, I was vegan pretty much for after that month. And then I still had the acne. So I kept going, and like 1 month on vegan, but then I started experimenting with the raw foods, and like not all fruit, but a lot of the nuts, seeds, like they call it raw gourmet, like high fat raw, and I still wasn't feeling very good on that. And then I did 7 days on only fruits,
You probably
which
felt
is
way
like
better.
a challenge, a challenge like John Rose was doing or something.
Yep, I'm
John
familiar.
Rose was another huge inspiration for me going raw. You know, 65 years old, 30 years on a raw diet, and the guy's, you know, the guy's ripped. He looks great. He's full of energy. So I'm like, I want that kind of energy. I did the fruit diet for 7 days, and afterwards I felt so good. I had so much energy. My skin started clearing up. You know, not completely, of course, but it started to show signs of clearing. My skin was softer, and I just had so much energy. I didn't know what to do with it, and so I'm like, wow, this is awesome. And I just kept going on the fruits only, and yeah, so that's when I started into the juicing. After that,
so you basically went like, it sounds like you dabbled for a couple months with like veganism, vegetarianism, like maybe a couple months. You tried the 7-day challenge, and then you just went into like, you basically were juicing and fruitarian since then.
Yeah, it was mostly an elimination diet to find out like how I could heal myself.
Yeah.
Essentially.
And how long has that been since you made the switch where you've been like fruit only essentially?
3.5 years.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you've been going on it a lot longer than most people. Because a lot of people, you know, they dabble with it for a few months or like a year max. And then they're like, all right, I'm going to go back to the cooked foods. Like our boy Ted Carr is even eating cooked foods now after whatever, 10 years as a fruitarian, you know, which is amazing to me.
Yeah, that is interesting. I'd like to talk to him about that. I honestly, I don't have any cravings for cooked food anymore. There was a quote, I forgot who said it. It's like, your body craves what it's made out of. So, you know, after so many years on fruit, your body starts to crave fruit because that's what it's made of. You know what I mean?
I hear you. Yeah. I mean, that makes some sense. There's a lot of those principles that really attracted me. I know when I first got into veganism, I was also a John Rose disciple. I was one of the first adopters of his program back when he was like a 1,000 subscriber type channel. I made the entire original Google document to show everybody how to do what he was proposing in his videos, the whole juice fasting thing. I did that for 30 days, actually. About 3 years ago, I did that, a 30-day juice fast. And, he talks about the biophotons. He talks about all these concepts, which I've never even heard of before. They sound very interesting to me, almost mystical in a way. And I wanted to experience that stuff. So, like for me, I did in a way. Like some ways you do get this sort of enhanced clarity, this enhanced feeling of connection to yourself, I'll have to admit, during this juice fasting experience. And I know you've talked about that, like the vibrational stuff on your channel. And that's usually lost in the mainstream of people. They're not going to be with that that type of talk. But so like what have you experienced? Like you obviously lost a ton of weight, and I want to get into that in a little bit, like where your current weight's at and like your strength levels and stuff like that. Because I do know you put out videos doing some workout stuff, and you just did that one where you're hanging from that pole. So we'll get into that stuff. So like, what did you experience going fruitarian that sort of locked it in for you? That was like, this is the thing, I'm going to stick with this. And do you plan to stick with it forever?
Yeah, it was just the way it made me feel, like no other food made me feel so good. And then I started looking into like, okay, it makes sense. Like you go out in nature, there's a fruit tree, it attracts you with its smell, with its appearance, and then you pick it. And the fruit actually wants you to eat it, because you can spread its seeds and the tree can live on. Like its genetics can be spread. It's the only food that wants you to eat it. It just like this is what John Rose talks about. And I'm not saying that I would take anything that some of these people like John Rose, Dan McDonald, Dr. Morris say just because they say it, but I apply it to my own perspective and practice. And yeah, I don't know. To me, it's just a simple thing, rather than like the more we think about it, the more it doesn't make sense.
The more we think about it, the more it doesn't make sense. Which part of it?
The more we try to complicate it. Just eating fruit from nature, eating straight from the tree.
I don't think anybody can deny that eating fruit, especially, getting into the whole hybridization of fruits and the man-made fruits and stuff like that. I know that's a big topic, but it's kind of a boring topic to me, to be honest with you. I mean, fruit's fruit. It's kind of made of the same stuff. As long as the soil has the nutrition in it, it's supposed to have nutrition in it. Whether we can absorb that or not is a whole other point of contention. But I do believe that fruit is delicious in its raw natural state. And who doesn't enjoy fruit? It is good. And yeah, so it's hard to make the argument against that. I guess the only thing I would say is like when we do consider what's available in nature, not modern day fruit markets, in Thailand where there's like unlimited durian, unlimited mangoes, unlimited bananas. Like in nature, would we really be able to get that much fruit? I don't think so. Like you've thought about, like, what do you think about that? Because you must consider that.
Well, we don't really live in a natural world anymore. When we, my theory is that we evolved in the equatorial rainforest where there's an abundance of fruits.
But there's not really, though.
Have you heard of Borneo, the jungles of Borneo?
No, I haven't. What's the deal there?
Well, there's still an abundance of fruits here, and you can actually get them in the wilds, the way it's been for thousands of years.
Okay. Well, I will say when I lived in the Big Island of Hawaii, there was wild banana trees, wild lilikoi, wild passion fruit, wild guava, but it wasn't in such an abundance where you're actually going to be able to sustain yourself in any meaningful way off of it. And on top of that, you're battling bugs, rodents, critters that are going to destroy that fruit most of the time before it even gets into your human hands. You know what I mean? Like bananas
Yeah, I mean,
have a
that's
lot
part
of
of life.
issues. Totally. I'm thinking about it from a perspective like, let's say we had a 150 person tribe to look after, and there's this fruit that's around us, and we haven't quite yet figured out the science of farming yet. You know what I mean? We're just like ape-minded people that have a tribe, and we're like wandering around trying to get food. You know, when I think of it from that perspective, like, there's just no way that fruit is going to sustain us. Like, even in modern day, it's hard to sustain yourself on fruit, being able to buy it everywhere you look. Maybe you'll disagree on that, but that's kind of the way that I look at it.
But I would say, being here in Borneo, you can definitely go in the jungle with 150 people and sustain themselves on a fruitarian diet. There is that much abundance here.
Okay.
There truly is. Yeah, and this is the home of the orangutans. They eat over 100 different types of fruits in their life, and this is the way I believe it should be. We have, we share up to 90% of their DNA with the orangutans, so I feel like we should eat a similar diet as they do.
Are they, I'm not familiar with their digestive system specifically, but I know a lot of monkeys, including like gorillas, for sure. They're almost strictly herbivorous.
Long digestive tract.
Right, but more so on the fact that they have a fermentation chamber. Do you know if orangutans have a fermentation chamber? I believe chimpanzees do, and they're very similar to us as well.
Fermentation chamber. Never heard of that.
You might want to look into that. It's a hindgut. They're called hindgut fermenters, whereas like cows have a rumen, which is a whole different type of biology where they have a whole other stomach associated with it. But a hindgut fermenter, they have a totally different organ system back there that is meant to break down the fibers of plant foods, the cellulose, which then gets eaten up by the particular bacteria in their system, and then they're actually absorbing the short chain fatty acids. So in a lot of ways,
I don't believe they have that because they can't digest plant cellulose as well as other animals, like vegetables or herbs. They can only digest a small amount. Actually,
so they're primarily fruit eaters?
Primarily fruit eaters. They can't digest much plant cellulose. Actually, they when they're low on fruits, they'll chew up herbs and spit out the fiber, which is essentially like juicing.
Right. Yeah, and I do think that when people juice, they do seem to hold up better as a vegan. They seem to hold up better long term than other people who aren't juicing, who are strictly eating just the foods, because I feel like obviously pre-digesting those foods with a juicer is going to get you access to that nutrition that you wouldn't otherwise be able to unlock.
And you talked earlier about the soil quality, and when the soil quality, like in the United States, for example, is completely crap, it's they use biosludge, which is found in sewage, to grow the fruits and label it as organic. It's completely messed up. So when you juice, you're able to get way more nutrients concentrated rather than if you were to eat, like, say, 20 oranges, where you can drink, a liter of juice easily.
Yeah.
And get way more energy.
So we kind of actually already covered one of the first things that I wanted to speak to you about, which was, how long you've been fruitarian and stuff like that. Now, you said, sustaining yourself, sustaining a tribe out in the wild and whatnot. Like, what kind of health markers do you look at when you're talking about sustaining? Like, what does sustaining mean to you? Do you look at physical strength? Do you look at size? Do you look at skin quality, hair quality? Like, what are those markers to you of health, energy levels? Fill us in on what that means to you.
Yeah, all of those things. And yeah, I think environment is like one of the biggest keys for health. And like I'm living in a city right now. It's not, I'm not in the jungle.
Mm-hmm.
So there's, yeah, everything.
And would you say like, strength, like physical size? Because obviously a lot of people they bash you for being skinny, and like, how do you feel about the way you look and your strength relative to what people say? Like, what, fill us in on that.
So let's talk about that. Yeah, I've first of all, I've never been a muscular person. I've never had muscle.
Even as a 230 pounder? Come on, you must have been kind of strong. All fat people got strong calves, bro. That's a fact.
Okay, my calves, my calves were ripped. But yeah, I never had muscle. So when I lost all the weight, especially being in India where I was fasting extensively, that's before I switched my views on dry fasting, became extremely, weak, frail, no, like 2% body fat, if that. And yeah, so I've never been a muscular person. This is very new to me. All the calisthenics, which I've just been experimenting like the past month.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm starting from zero. I'm not like, I don't know anything.
Right.
I'm like a baby.
What is your goal with it?
I am seeing progress, by the way. Honestly, I just want to be strong enough to like climb trees and stuff like that, like things we would do naturally.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm not in it for like aesthetics. I don't want, I'm not going to be deadlifting 300 pounds or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't see a reason for it.
Yeah, in a way that is kind of pointless. I mean, I've tried to go the powerlifting route. It's not really meant for my body. I break down a lot easier than other people physically, as far as like, the musculature, the tendons and stuff like that. My body can't really handle that stuff either. So,
yeah.
Yeah. So I had another question here for you. Yeah. So we just kind of touch a little bit on like what measures of strength do you consider adequate. So, I mean, you're looking to like just do physical, sort of like practical, functional strength, I would call it.
Yeah.
If, you said you're making progress, are you willing to make any adjustments to your nutrition if said progress stalls, or, like, I know for sure, because I've compared my, weightlifting background to as a vegan to when I was eating meat. And I know when I was eating a primarily whole food plant-based diet, which was mainly fruit-based, similar to yourself. Of course, I had like beans and potatoes at nighttime, let's say. And I ate very consistently and very clean like this for a very long period of time. Now, when I was in that phase of my veganism, I wasn't gaining any strength at all. And, the way that I look at it, when I think of eating all fruit diet, like I know that I probably wouldn't gain much strength at all. So I'm wondering, like, if you were to not see any gains, let's say they just stop tomorrow, the gains stop. Okay. Are you going to eat more food? Are you going to supplement with protein powders? Like, what would be your plan of attack at that point?
No, because I know it's possible doing it this way, because I'm being coached by fruitarians who are pretty ripped.
Can you name these people?
I can name a few people. Yeah, Orville Douglas.
Okay, I think I know who you're talking about. Are they coaching you online, or have you seen them in person? Are you?
Yeah, online. Okay. So there's a few actually long-term fruitarians that are doing very well with their gains. And Orville Douglas, for example, he's been fruitarian for 30 years, and he eats only high carb fruits. He doesn't even eat like fats like avocado or durian.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very, like, I don't agree with him on some things, and he only eats one meal a day.
Okay.
Which is, I'm sure you know about the benefits of intermittent fasting and how it increases your HGH production for workouts.
Yeah, I've heard of this. I think it's more when we talk about the HGH increase. I think it's more on the side of preservational HGH, not necessarily giving you some sort of like steroid enhancement boost. Like it's more about not letting your body burn muscle mass than it is about utilizing it for some kind of additional mass gain. There's really not many bodybuilders out there that are utilizing a 1 meal a day approach to gain maximal muscle mass. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it is, it's not very common, definitely, but he, the results show for themselves. Like if you look at this guy, you can find him on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Looks great. It's like what I would want to look like ideally. Lean muscle mass, not like nothing inflamed, just big swollen arms and stuff.
Yeah,
like that's that. I don't understand that obsession with that.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying. Like I think I know who you're talking about. It's a black guy, right? He's pretty ripped.
Yeah,
I've seen him.
Jamaican.
And I did a little looking into him before too, and he started out way bigger than he is now. First of all, so he's actually lost gains over time, and now he's where he's at. Maybe he's maintaining what he has or whatever, but he didn't start from like skin and bone type of thing and then built up to what he has. He started out bigger. You should go dig through his photos to like 5 years ago or maybe longer.
30 years ago. He's been fruitarian for 30 years.
Maybe I don't know. I've seen him before and he was way bigger, so I don't know what he was eating before, but
maybe you're thinking of Callian Rip.
I don't know. I'd have to see these people, but I'm pretty sure it's this Orville dude. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, I if that's who I'm thinking of, yeah, he looks pretty decent and ripped. Even I'm looking at him like, how is this possible type of thing. But yeah, I haven't seen too many people look like that.
So the thing is for some reason fruitarians, they're into yoga, they're into running, they're into cardio, but they don't get into weights, to calisthenics. They're not into muscle, like maybe because it's not natural or whatever. They're just they're detox obsessed or something. But yeah, not many people get into it. It's not because you can't build on fruits, because I've seen it with these people. Another example I could give is Joshua Oakwood. He's been fruitarian for 5 years and making great gains. And these people see gains like faster than, well, I wouldn't say faster than people on a meat diet, because they're also getting inflammation from the excess fat and protein, but they're seeing gains like incredibly fast. And
I'm checking him out right now. I'm taking a look at him. Yeah, he looks like he spends a little bit of time in the gym. Definitely.
Joshua?
Oh, yeah. So he did a 1-year training transformation. I'm going to link it up in the chat here just so that other people can follow along. He recently posted this on Instagram, it looks like. And, I'm going to take you off the screen real quick. I'm just going to show people what we're talking about here just so that, they're so we have this guy here, guys, Joshua Oakwood. We'll do this. So, he looks pretty good. Right? So, that's him. I'd say like we look comparable, to be honest with you right now. And do you know, and this is what he looked like a year ago. And he says at the top here.
Similar.
Right. He says he was 127 and then he went to 159 and he did that in a year. And he's been fruitarian since 2014.
Solid muscle.
Yeah. I mean, I find this, I'm going to be honest, I find this hard to believe, just straight up. But because I could tell you for sure, I've made transformations like this in my lifetime. In fact, I've done a very similar one. I went from 123 pounds to 155 pounds in 3 months on animal foods and protein powders and stuff.
Of course,
when I was 18. But I've tried to work out on a high fruit, high carb, low protein diet, and I definitely did not receive anywhere near this kind of gains. But anyways, I mean, if he did it himself, then more power to him. I think that's impressive. So anyway, that's good to have your views on that, I guess. Do you know how much you weigh right now? Like, what's your stats right now?
I haven't been able to find access to a scale, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I could go to a gym and check it out there.
Yeah, definitely.
But if I could guess, because when I was in India, they have, scales. You pay 5 rupees and they let you weigh yourself.
And here comes a real steak. But just look at the texture of this thing.
100 and 120, 115 pounds.
115 pounds.
Something like
Okay.
I believe so. And that was during my, I was fasting. I was mostly on juices,
mm-hmm.
and the nutrient, like the quality of the fruits in India is so bad. It's not sustainable for a fruitarian. And I was there for 5 months.
Yeah.
So it was a tough time. I was, I don't know if you saw my video, but I was hit by a car while I was there.
That's not good.
I fractured 2 toes, and healed the toes within like a month, which I think is pretty good. But I was essentially just I wasn't bedridden, but I chose to spend most of my time in bed to focus on healing.
Right.
And this was during the monsoon season in India, where it's, intense tropical, rain every day. And it's the farmers don't pick their crops. They don't have many fruits available. And it just made it really, really hard for me. And eating a lot of like cucumbers and limes and bananas,
that's not gonna cut it.
it's not gonna cut it, but then in my later part of India, I got access to amazing avocados, custard apples, passion fruit, and coconuts, which I couldn't even get coconuts during the monsoon season, which I think is like the perfect food.
Yeah.
With the saturated fats and the 96 minerals from the water.
So you won't like supplement, I guess, with cooked food in that case. Like if you can't get, enough calories and nutrition from raw fruits and vegetables, then you'll just do with less, basically, or?
No, I definitely would move back to foods like that. I was getting plenty of bananas and some papayas as well, so I was getting enough. But like I said, I was in this mind state that I would have to dry fast in order to heal myself faster.
Right.
So I wasn't eating.
Do you feel satisfied? Like, do you feel satisfied eating that way? Like when you're eating just bananas, like what's, they can't be that enjoyable, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you're not in the tropics, bananas might not be that enjoyable, but yeah, to me, I knocked back like 20 bananas, man. Like that's an amazing meal.
Yeah,
definitely.
Well, I can speak from experience because I have lived in the tropics, but bananas, they are way better there. They're way better there. People on the mainland have no idea. Even if they're coming out of Ecuador, it cannot compare to like Hawaiian bananas. There's tons of varieties. You can get all wild with your bananas if you start understanding the different types. But I ate a shitload of bananas in Hawaii for sure, and you reach a point where you're ready for something else. That's for sure. Like it's still staple food.
You need variety. Like I said, the orangutans are eating 100 different types of fruits. We're meant to be eating in abundance, not just. I notice a lot of people focus on these mono fruit diets. They'll eat just oranges, just bananas. I've done it myself. There is there's a benefit to it, just like any elimination diet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we definitely need a variety. I try to eat a wider range of, like eat the rainbow of colors and get more nutrients essentially.
Do you look into the absorption and stuff like that of fruits and vegetables, raw fruits and vegetables? Like, do you think that the nutrition that is in those foods actually gets into your body? I'm personally under the belief that most of it's not getting into our body. And I know that when I ate that way, I just kind of got weaker and weaker. And even to the fact where like the point where like my bones were damn near feeling pliable. Like people have given me criticism for this. I swear to God, I could like bend my forearm a little bit because the bone was that, that plasticky feeling. When I was about 135 pounds, I was starting to feel this way. So, I don't know if you experience anything like that, but.
Well, I'm sorry. Can you go back? What was the question?
I was just saying, like, do you think that the absorption, like the foods that you're eating, do you think that's
absorption
making its way in there? Yeah. Beyond the sugar, like obviously sugar calories are getting in there. Sugar, it's a lot easier to digest that, but we're talking like the minerals and vitamins and stuff like that. Do you feel like you're getting that nutrition?
So the absorption is like, that's why we do this like juice fasting, for example, to address these, these causes. We're essentially like our digestive system has been hijacked, like it's been corrupted our whole lives from eating a standard diet, and that's why we're malabsorbing. We're not getting these properly. So once you go on a fruitarian diet long enough, or you do things like juice fasting, I definitely believe that you're absorbing better than if you were.
We lost you for a second. I know he looks frozen on the screen, guys. You can see me. We'll give him a second. He's in the Malaysian internet, Let us know when you're back, Austin. Okay. Let me read the chat real quick. Oh, we got Primal Edge Health up in here. And Really Organic. Primal Edge Health, do we have a tattletale on you, Primal Edge? Really Organic's saying you're being a bad boy with the banana hammer? What's going on here? Raw Bliss. He blew away in the wind, guys. We lost him. He'll be back. His phone probably just froze or died or something like that. Snitches get stitches. Hey, be nice, mods. This is not veganism over here. No infighting on my channel, please. I need the mods to have a unified front. Unified front here. Vegan Gains wants to give up his own health for the animals. Is the John Venus Vegan Gains battle royale over? Because I'll be honest with you, that was pretty intense. That was looking pretty good. Bring Conscious Calisthenics on. Should we bring old Danny on? I got a few more questions for Austin, and we'll see where he wants to take it. We might need you, Danny. We might need you. His phone's blood sugar tanked. Welcome to the More Gang. Welcome to the More Gang, baby. I wonder if Austin knows that he's like a major sponsor of the stream with the alerts. Oh, there he is. We got him back. Doo-doo. Hey, thanks, Tiana. Austin, we got you back?
Yes. Okay.
Okay, cool. Let me get you back up in here. There we go. All right. So, I don't know where we lost you.
Yeah. So for the absorption thing, I definitely am absorbing because I'm eating a lot of food every day. And
okay.
I don't poop as much as I eat.
Okay.
I do poop a lot, but not as much as I eat, for sure. Why is this not? My charger's not working. 1 second. There we go.
Everybody wants, by the way, I had to catch up with the chat there, and everybody wants to come on and ask you questions right now. We got Primal Edge Health, we got Conscious Calisthenics. Everybody's like trying to get their 2 cents in here. It's entertaining, but apparently the chat enjoys it. So, all right, so you're pooping less than you eat, which I actually find that kind of crazy because when I was eating vegan, I was pooping nonstop, man, like monstrous. You know what I mean? Loch Ness monster status. Ooh, we lost him again. Raw Bliss. No. The blood sugar tanked. We'll get him back. Okay. Really Organic says, get Tristan from Primal Health to come on and show us his abs. Hopefully they look more fit than Bart K. Yo, why are you guys hating on Bart K? He's been drinking a lot of beer lately. You got to let him slide. Beer is plants. Ask him, does fruit increase your sex drive? I will. And I also want to ask him how much he's eating because he shows his videos where he's eating like massive tables of fruit. So I'm trying to Omid Hamadanian as a moderator, you have to be careful with your words, you know? Beer's plants, come on. Joku, ask if he's ideologically vegan or if it's just a health thing. I think it's a health thing for him. That's what I'm getting the sense of. Well, we got to get Austin back before we can have any additional guests to talk to Austin. So give it a minute, guys. Give it a minute. Can you please bring Really Organic and Lakshmi Dairy Girl? Because they are twins. They are twins. They sound exactly the same. Exactly the same. Can someone help me move to Thailand? How much money do I need? You need like $2,000. That includes your plane ticket, and you're good to go for like 4 years in Thailand, man. No problem. You'll find a girlfriend, which will actually be a man, but that's fine. They don't ask questions in Thailand. I hope you're into that type of thing. You'll be happy. Trust me. Charles, I did ask him how much he weighs. He said he knows the last time he weighed was about 115, and he's 5'11". So
we haven't told him anything except don't vape.
Don't vape.
We don't like vaping.
He weighs less than 115 now, it sounds like. I'd ask if he eats insects. Why not shellfish? I think he just believes, you know, energy raw alignment is no longer vegan. I think the cat's been out of the bag on that one for quite some time now. Put on the vegan game. Are they still going? Vegan Gains and John? Are they still going? Okay, well, we're gonna have to tune in. We're gonna have to split screen this. Oh, we got him back. We got him back. Drew, who are you pulling for the John Venus Vegan Gains debate? I just want blood. That's all I want. All right, we're bringing Austin back, guys. Here we go. All right, we got you. What's going on over there, Austin? Is it the Malaysian internet?
No, Malaysia has amazing internet, actually. It's I think it's my power bank. Like I switched over. I'm jacked into the wall now.
Okay. All right. Well, also the phone could be overheating too. I don't know if you have a case, but the video chat gets it real hot. So just so you know that.
Okay.
And it could be crashing like that. So
and it is hot here. So
yeah, no doubt. And the router could be overheating. The phone could be overheating. I don't know if you have any control over that, but anyway. So where were we? We're talking about small poops. Absorption. How much are you eating? Because you post videos eating like a table worth of food, but like how many calories are we talking here?
I've done a few experiments where I counted calories, but I don't count calories really. I just eat when I'm hungry as much as I want until I'm satisfied.
Are you experiencing any type of teeth issues or anything like that? Because I kind of did when I was eating a lot of fruit. None? You're good.
I've never had teeth issues. No.
Damn, that is incredible.
And I don't brush my teeth either.
Really? At all?
No, I haven't for the past year. On a handful of occasions when I'm eating like a ton of mangoes, maybe. But I've experienced that fruit actually cleans your teeth if you're eating, particular fruits.
What are the teeth cleaning fruits?
Dragon fruit, for example, citrus fruits are actually
citrus destroyed my teeth. Oranges.
In my experience, it actually built my enamel stronger. After my 40 days on the, like I told you, the citrus. Well, I don't know if I told you I did a citrus juice fast as well. 40 days on that.
Okay, that's basically what I did because that's all I had access to. Is I had really good oranges on my juice fast, but so what did you experience with that? It cleaned you out and you felt like you could absorb better or something, and it helped your teeth, or what?
Absolutely.
Nice. Yeah, I continued that, by the way, but with less quality oranges in Hawaii, because in Hawaii they have trash oranges basically, and they were a little bit more acidic, and my teeth just like deteriorated day after day. I could watch it in the mirror happen. It was really bad.
Oh, and another thing is that a lot of people in the States are getting unripe produce.
Right.
Unripe fruits cause teeth problems.
Okay.
If you're not eating properly ripe oranges, or a lot of times oranges are overripe.
Yeah.
Which.
Oh no. He's crashed. Raw Bliss. No. We can't get a sentence out of him. All right, we're tuning into the vegan gains debate. Is it over? Is it over? I feel like a channel flip-flopper. John Venus, vegan gains. Somebody said it was over already. That's unfortunate. Live discussion with John Venus Eggate. That's what they called it. Vegan YouTube is getting so good, man. It's like the trials, the witch trials, Salem witch trials. Who's more vegan? I feel like you're lying about veganism. You shouldn't be able to profit off veganism. And we got Vegan Gains making the claims over there. Didn't he have a breeder dog that he bought? Isn't that not vegan? The vegans make the rules for this shit, right? Lauren Lockman tells people that you have to eat fruit to build the enamel and the teeth up. Lauren Lockman has killed people in his fasting retreats. Montreal healthy girl almost died there. And didn't Victoria Arnstein almost die there too? Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Lauren Lockman, yeah. Apparently, he's like an ex-U.S. Air Force guy. I would like a little bit more information on that to see if he really actually was that, because that surprises me. I don't see anybody being ex-U.S. Air Force and running a fasting retreat in wherever the hell he's at now. That just doesn't make any sense to me. He seems a little cult leaderish as well. Lauren Lockman's teeth look homeless. Oof, that's rough. That's rough. Hate to see it. Dude, there was like 3,000 people watching that John Venus Vegan Gains situation. That shit was funny, dude. I wish we got to catch up with that a little bit. Let the phone charge up, Rob Bliss. Let the phone charge up. Who should we get in here for the little intermission? Dan? Primal Edge? We need to bring one of you guys on here or what? Let me know. Rob Bliss said he needs a break. The phone needs a break. The phone needs a break. Planetary Farm says eating fruit is so complicated. Sunfruit Dan nominates himself. All right, we're pulling him in. We're pulling him in. We're pulling everybody in. Bring him in. You guys need to help me with the sale here. All right. We're emailing. What the hell's Dan's email again? Dan, what's the beginning of your email? Just give me like the first little bit in the chat. Oh, I sent it to you on Facebook. I'm sending it to you on Facebook. Tristan, I'm sending you the link on email. Wow. The multitasking is out of this world right here. All right, I sent you guys the things. Don't bother me anymore. That's it. It's done. It's done. God, we missed the debate with John Venus and Vegan Gains. People are hating on Tristan. They're always hating on Tristan, even though he's a friend of the stream. Durin Ryder too? Is he in here? Usually he pops in. Yeah, I sent it in Skype. Let's go in Skype. The multitasking, guys. Don't ever tell me I can't do it. Tristan is not a big meanie. Tristan's timing people out like crazy. What is going on in this chat? Does Primal Edge just come in here and wreck house? What's up, Nathan Coleman? How you doing? It would be boring as hell with Vegan Gains. That stream was pretty funny. I only got to catch like 5 minutes of it before Austin came on. Raw Bliss came on. Depopulation. Dude, we gotta let mayhem happen. Oh, Danny Glass just rang. Here we go. There we go.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
I can, but I can't see you yet. You gotta click the little video, the video thing. There we go.
Cool.
There we go. All right, we got you. We'll get Tristan in here in a second. I sent the links out to him as well. What do you think of Austin Raw Bliss so far?
He seems like a really nice guy. I don't have anything against him personally. Like, he seems like he's conscious about me, certain things, but I don't necessarily agree with all the dietary advice from my experience, what I've seen from other people. But yeah, seems like a nice guy.
And you, obviously, the name Suntford Dan, you have survived off fruit only in the tropics for long periods of time.
Yeah.
How would you categorize that experience?
I just did it because of dogmatic programming that I received from other people and idealistic programming. And it made me feel good at first, but it's because I removed all the other crap from my diet that was making me feel bad. It wasn't necessarily the fruit was making me feel good, but long term, I ended up getting hormonal imbalances, mineral deficiencies, vitamin deficiencies. Like, it just made me deteriorate long term. And because I've been so extremely programmed for so long, I wasn't really that in tune with my body, and I didn't want to hear about anything else apart from the fruit-based diet. I became obsessed with it. And fruit does taste good. You know it tastes good.
It does. It's great.
But yeah, I found long-term it's just not a sustainable diet where it can meet all your nutritional needs.
Now, you had tooth issues back in the day, and you eventually switched away from fruit.
Yeah.
How are we having the fruit that we're having tooth issues? And homeboy over here has got 3.5 years. He's fine.
Genetics is a huge factor. You can find people that have been on crappy diets their whole life and they've got amazing genetics with their teeth. It's a huge factor. I wouldn't normally pull the genetic card, but teeth seem to be a huge one for that. Same like people with hair loss a lot of time as well.
Yeah, okay. I feel like oral hygiene, though, is one of those things, it's pretty cut and dry. It's like, now hair is one thing, I'm going to give that the genetics card. But teeth, I mean, if you put acid on teeth, and a bunch of sugar on teeth, which will then turn to acid because the bacteria eats the sugar. If you guys don't know, it's a very simple process. Bacteria eats the sugar, bacteria shit acidic poop onto your teeth, and they rot your teeth. So either way, acid is killing your teeth. So that's my experience on it. You had the same experience. I know a bunch of people with the same experience. Ted Carr, for instance, says he doesn't have issues with his teeth. However, under further examination of his photographs of up-close pictures, he does have some enamel erosion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there you go. And yeah, definitely acid fruit can be a huge issue for people with their teeth. Like you said, even if you've got good genetics, you're eating loads of acidic fruit, like no way is that good for you in any way, shape or form. And yeah, I think it was quite interesting what he's saying. If I could mention it briefly, he's saying like, well, we should eat fruit because Borneo has so much fruit and we could eat so much fruit all the time. But how many countries actually like that? How many countries have so much abundance of fruit where thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people could just live off of fruit in the natural environment? I don't see that one.
Yeah, and like I said, even if the fruit was abundant, you're battling nature constantly. Like people don't realize this. If you have bananas that aren't even ripe yet, flies will lay eggs in those bananas, and there will be maggots in the bananas by the time that you want to eat them. So it doesn't make any sense. You can't do that. It doesn't work in nature unless you spray the stuff. And obviously, millions of years ago, we weren't spraying. So, like, something doesn't add up there with people's expectations about eating fruit in nature, because nobody's doing that. Nobody is subsisting off of fruit in nature right now. Nobody. It's never been done in history. There's no tribe doing it. Nobody's doing that.
No primates are even doing it in the natural environment.
Right.
Like if you look at chimpanzees and bonobos, they eat a high amount of greens, like insane amounts of greens.
Really? But even bonobos?
Yeah, even bonobos.
Okay.
Bonobos, the biggest male will normally be around, full-size male is around 125 pounds. And depending on season, they will eat anywhere from 50 to 30% of the calories come from greens. So they eat insane amounts of greens, up to anywhere around 22 pounds of greens a day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so they eat a lot. So there's no true frugivore in nature. No civilizations, like you said, have existed eating just fruit. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me.
Carnivore said, Dan had tooth issues because he brushed his teeth. Nah, you shouldn't have brushed your teeth. You would have been better off, dude. It's funny. I get comments from vegans that they hate on me because I had tooth issues as a vegan. And they're like, oh, well, you must have forgotten how to use a toothbrush. And I'm like, no, like the opposite, dude. I started flossing every day because I needed to. I bought an electric toothbrush, which was digging a hole in my molars because they were so damn soft. They literally like created a little ditch in my molar. I stopped using that toothbrush. Pimpy Bojangles says, any advice on a protein powder for bulking? No, just eat meat. You'll be good to go. All right. Oh, I saw we had Tristan pop in. He's got the red light therapy going on.
Yeah, nice light.
Tristan killed like 20 people for my chat. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm trying to. I've been watching some TV, and I heard there's an overpopulation problem. So I'm just.
He's trigger happy, guys. He's trigger happy. He's out of control.
We have an overpopulation problem in the chat. It's populated with people who are hating on me. I'm just timing them off.
Oh man, they're probably my biggest supporters, man.
The one that talks the most shit. The one that's talking the most shit, though, I can't even type him out because you made some spurg a mod, some really organic. Got a wrench.
Hey, that's the god mode.
Mod spurgs over here, man.
It's god mode. They have the golden tongue now. They can say what they want. You know, that's how it goes.
You need to have super mods. You need all the mods in your chat to be competing for top mod. Like one of them gets a sword, the rest of them just get wrenches.
I like that. I've heard you can make people's names green, and you could use that for special honors. You know, I want to do that.
There's some sort of a membership thing on YouTube now where you have like members or something.
You have to be Charles Marlowe to have that. I saw that he had that. It's only for drama streams, apparently. Tristan's shoulders are popping.
Missed the first part of the conversation. I just caught a little bit of Raw Bliss, and then he was cutting out in the end there. But what's going on here?
Well, his phone crashed, so we're kind of just taking a little breather here, and we got basically he seems to be having good results on a fruitarian diet to his standard. He's enjoying the way that he feels. This is the thing that I'll bring this up with him, is that a lot of people that I see start out overweight because he was 230 pounds, just pure fat by his own admission. So what happens is people that struggle with weight their whole lives, when they find something that works for them to lose weight, they kind of like stick to that, you know? And unfortunately, weight loss has nothing to do with what you eat almost. It's more about energy balance. And of course, if you adopt a fruit-based diet and you're eating way under your body's caloric needs, you're going to lose weight. So it's not because the fruit did it for you. It's because of the energy balance. So that's kind of what I have to say about it. And he's probably listening because I know he's in the chat right now. But by the way, Austin, whenever you're ready to pop back in, I'll have you back. So people are saying, what are you eating, Tristan?
It's plantains with butter and honey. Let's see if I can show you.
See, guys, Tristan's on the woo-woo. He's got the red light going on over there.
No, it's not woo-woo at all. I've got hours of interviews on the channel talking about red light therapy, all the scientific research about, and you can look up LLLT on, what's it called? on PubMed. There's loads of stuff on low-level laser therapy, low-level light therapy, but red light therapy is known to have all sorts of physiological benefits.
Yeah,
actually really
for sure. Yeah,
it's not a woo.
No,
I'm gonna put a red filter on my LEDs right here, and it'll be the same thing, right?
I have the shine that you see, all that red that you see.
Yeah,
that's just the blood. That's the blood that's been spilled in the chat with all these spurgs up in the chat. As soon as my name pops up, these fools start going at it.
People want John Venus on now. If John is in the chat, John is welcome to come on. We can have a debriefing with his vegan gains, situation. So much going on in the vegan YouTube world right now. It's imploding as it always is.
Did you catch any of the vegan gains with John Venus thing?
They were going at each other way harder than I expected.
John was standing up to vegan gains?
He was calling him out. Vegan Gains was sitting there with his arms crossed like this, and he was just talking shit. It was nuts. He was just they were just going at it, and Vegan Gains was calling him a liar and saying that he shouldn't be able to profit off veganism. And John Venus was like, dude, you do the same thing. And Vegan Gains is saying that you make veganism look bad. You're a hypocrite and a liar and all this stuff. And John Venus is like, dude, don't you think that the way that you're talking to me right now is making veganism look bad? And Vegan Gains just didn't understand that was even a possibility. He's like, I'm standing up for veganism. I'm the one who's got the rights here. It's like, it's weird, man. It's so weird. Who's more vegan? Like, what a fucking weird competition. God, it's disgusting.
They all hate each other. All these vegan YouTubers hate each other because they're not actually driven by the ideology of veganism, and they all doubt it deep down inside.
Yeah, so I think it's the doubt, man.
When one of them's about to leave, first of all, they're jealous because they're starving and this person's about to eat meat. They're super pissed. But then also, they just want to climb the ladder of vegan YouTube. These people just want clout. They just want money. They want to be able to sell their bullshit. And it's easy money, dude. Fucking fleecing vegans is easy money for these people. You don't have to be talented at anything to be an expert in the fucking vegan world. You don't have to be, you don't have to have an impressive physique to be the most amazing vegan bodybuilder ever.
Right.
I think you and I were talking before.
Hang on, Ted Carr's on the screen.
It's great for your
speaking of which, mediocrity reigns supreme in veganism. It's just mediocre people, predatory people who have no social skills, like Vegan Gains, are able to find a way to influence thousands of people, right? This dude who would never be able to influence a single person in his own work environment if he worked a real job is out there influencing thousands of people and being worshipped. So it's like these people get high as shit from it too. And
Vegan Gains not looking great lately, like he's got the pale going on. He's got the low energy as he has had for years. I don't know, man. He's got a big channel. I can't believe people are still watching that content, but people tune in for it, dude. They want that.
But look
what
do they want though? What
new grounds is he breaking?
Do they want Vegan Gains, or do they just want bullshit? They just want to see internet blood sport fighting.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah, they just want entertainment.
Right. And I guess, if that's what YouTube is, Yeah. Somebody said
they complain about me banning people, but at the same time, that's all they're talking about. They're loving it. And I'm not even banning people. I'm just timing people out, you little babies. Don't cry. I'm not banning.
Just time out. Just timeouts, guys. Don't worry.
Timed out.
Just DM me and say you don't like Tristan on Instagram. I'll make you feel better about it. Okay. I love all of you guys.
This is the thing. It's like people want that visceral experience. They want to either hate somebody or love them. It's ridiculous.
Somebody said we need to have a Durian Rider and Isel Mazard on my stream as an after the court case discussion. That is a good idea. I like that. I know Durian Rider is probably down with it. I wonder if Isel is... That guy's... his words are too big, guys. I don't know if I could handle talking to him. His brain is too powerful. I wonder what happened to our boy Austin here. We might have to... We may have lost it. Zach! You're a bad boy, Zach. Is Raw Bliss on steroids? Okay, let's not get ridiculous here, guys. He's still coming back on the show. Damn it. Jesus. All right. So anyway, how you guys doing? This is interesting. I've never had to take a break from a guest. I was timed out 2 times.
I want him to come back. I have a few questions I'd love to ask him. I wonder if he's watched Matt Monarch's whole story arc. If he's seen what happened with Matt, what he thinks about what happened with Matt. You know, I mean, it's just you see the pictures of Matt at 87 pounds or whatever he said he was, 89 pounds. It's pretty horrific.
I have 3 more questions I want to cover with him. One is boring, so I'm not going to ask that one. Do you worry about the food quality in Thailand, which he's in Malaysia? But anyway, that's whatever. I want to ask him more about. I want to ask him more about his online social media perception. Like the people hating on him. Like, do they have any validity? You know, like, do you feel that you're as skinny as they say you are? Are you worried about that? Is it an issue? Like, what I want to know more about his reflection on that stuff, because you know
are people actually hating on him?
Oh yeah,
he posts a video.
Many people,
dude. Every video he posts, he's getting like 60 to 70%, 60 to 70% dislikes on every video he posts. You know,
but are they hating on him or are they worried about him? I guess the internet people.
They're more concerned about him. They see that he's doing something that's dangerous for himself, and they do actually care about him. That's why I made response videos on him and a lot of other people as well, because it's just seeing someone waste away. It's not good.
Yeah, it makes me sad to see him. It looks like he's in a lot of pain. I don't know, the times when I had the least muscle mass in my life, which of course is when I tried to go vegan, or never really vegan. Or when I did vegan wrong, or whatever they want to say. It's like the time when I was eating a plant-based diet.
Yeah.
I was trying to heal from an injury in my spine, my back, and my hip, and it just got so much worse. And I see him and how skinny he is, how little muscle he has, and I don't know, I just like physiologically feel it in me. It sucks, man.
Yeah.
It sucks that these people hate themselves.
Same. It's an explosive feeling, and you don't have it. At least that's my experience. Maybe Raw Bliss feels the most powerful he's ever felt in his life. I don't know, but it still does. It does go along with my theory that people who start out, they start out without an idea of fitness, and then they go vegan, they lose the weight, and they never had an idea of how strong they were before. So really, there's nothing to compare to. That's what I'm worried about for him.
Yeah, well, it's like, I'd like to make an example of one of my friends. I'm not going to mention her name, but she went vegan years ago. Then she's gone down the whole Dr. Robert Morse fruitarian thing. And when I met her, prior to I met her, she had excess fat she lost. When I met her, she had a good amount of muscle mass. Then she went down the whole fruitarian thing, like extreme. And over the last 2 years, she's ended up going from very muscular and strong, a good amount of healthy body fat, to looking like Jack Skeleton in real life. And she's so programmed to the extreme that it's just all detox symptoms with her body just wasting away and all the health issues she's got going on, and she's going further and further down the rabbit hole, and she just keeps going down and down and down and down, and it's like, come on, man, what are you doing to yourself? But I can't say anything to her because she's in this box and she ain't getting out of it.
I do wonder about the body dysmorphia going on with a lot of people. Like when I was in my juice fasting phase and I was losing weight like crazy, I was aware that I was getting very, very skinny. But it's not until like a couple of years later when you regain some of the weight and then you look back at it that you're like, God damn, I was really not looking that good, you know? So when you're in it, even if you're aware of it, it's still not as bad as you think. But then later on, you're like, holy shit, that wasn't good.
Yeah, and I can relate to that. When I was fruitarian, I was so skinny, and then when I actually got out of it and gained loads of muscle on a cooked vegan diet, I looked back and then I was like, whoa, man. Like, I can't believe it looked like that. But
And then when you properly bulk up and you become Swole McGee on the meat and you look back at your cooked vegan physique, you're going to be like, wow, that was weak as hell too.
Yeah.
I feel like all of us got into the vegan thing in our early 20s. Am I right? Like, Dan, it seems like you got interested in your early 20s or
late 20s for me.
Yeah,
late 20s for me. I'm glad I did it in my late 20s, because if I did it in my early 20s, I may have still been like developmental in some ways. And I'm so glad that it happened after, because I'm very serious about that. That is a very serious statement, because like if you do it when you're 16 or 18, like some of these people that are very young, and you're like, those are brain growing years still, like I don't want to mess with that at all.
Kids. Well, I mean, everybody knows Matt Monarch has talked about, they publicly talk about it's not going to, divulging information. I'm not trying to, to talk shit about Matt. feel bad for a guy, feel bad for his family. But his wife had a miscarriage. She miscarried twin babies on a vegan diet, and she was doing cooked foods as well. She wasn't doing all raw, and she had all the supplements, all the expensive stuff, and it was a bad situation. And Matt, obviously, like Matt almost died. He's, who knows if he's gonna like fully recover. Hopefully he gets better, but he was having a really hard time.
Did you see the video? Oh no, you linked it to me, right? Where he's talking about how he ate the sardine or whatever, and he's like making the tongue noises.
Yeah,
What was he on, dude?
Yeah,
what's up, Austin?
I wasn't even there. People are saying my audio's low. I don't know if I can turn it up.
It sounds okay. Okay, guys. So we got Austin back. Austin, we pretty sure that we got you for a few minutes.
We'll see. I'm at 32%, and like I took my case off. It's not hot.
All right, guys.
Nice.
Tristan and Dan have joined us. Austin, I hope that's okay. I'm going to have you guys, if you can, just chill in the background for a minute. I want to ask Austin this sort of last question, and then we can all just sort of get into a little bit of a roundtable, if that's cool with you, Austin.
Sure.
All right. So let me see here. So we kind of talked about it a little bit in the very beginning of the stream, like the perception that the feedback you're getting online from people, I see you post a video and I see that there's like strong dislikes on it. And I'm just wondering, like, as a content creator myself, like that would piss me off. It really would. And it's good to just keep plowing ahead and keep putting out the content that you want to put out and the message that you want to put out, because that's how you roll. That's your message. But does that stuff affect you? Are you, give me your reaction to that stuff. Like, what is this stuff to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to see, but I understand where people are coming from, because I've had that same mentality, that same perspective at some point in my life. Mm-hmm. So I feel for them, and I give them my love, really. That's
just the reaction, is like, hey, I love you guys back. Whatever you're saying is not about me. It's about you guys and your thing. And really, you don't take any of that into consideration.
Well, they think that I'm deteriorating because of my appearance, which, I am gaining muscle and fat back since, I was in India, I was fasting, and it takes time. And people are just now coming to my channel recently. They haven't seen the 3 years I was on a fruitarian diet where I wasn't skinny because I was eating an abundance of fruits.
But at that time, to be fair, you were still kind of losing that 230-pound version of yourself, right? So you were still like decreasing in weight slowly over time from the previous, you're carrying that fat into the diet type of thing. So, and there's a comment, I don't know if you heard me, but when we were talking in the break, when you were off, is something that I personally worry about with vegans and fruitarians, whatever, it doesn't matter. People who change their diet into something else. It doesn't even have to necessarily be veganism. When they get some kind of positive result from doing so, they tend to stick to it a little too long. For instance, like if you come into it as a 230-pound guy and you're wanting to lose weight, maybe years before that you had tried little diets or whatever and they didn't work. Maybe you tried exercising and it didn't work. And then you find something that does work for you and makes you feel good. You're just like, damn, I'm going to stick to that. And it might be sticking to it too long is like my only concern with people doing any type of diet, that just because it's like a false positive, you know what I'm saying? Like you do it gives you the result and you're like, damn, this is good for everything. Well, maybe it was just a tool for a short period of time, but not something that you want to stick to for life. That's my only.
I feel the same way about a ketogenic or like a carnivore diet, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe that is the case. So a lot of people don't tend to stick to a keto or carnivore diet forever. Most of the people that I know who have dabbled with it, they don't go 5-10 years. They don't do it forever. They're not checking their keto sticks for 5 years, generally speaking. There's some outliers, like Stephanie Keto Person, who's on YouTube and she's famous and she's been in keto for like 10 years or something. But that's very, very rare. The same as there's a very, very rare fruitarians for 10 years,
Yeah, I mean, if I run into problems down the road,
Yeah.
I might implement some, some cooked potatoes, some steamed vegetables into my diet. Who knows? I'm open to that.
And on that question, somebody was asking me in the chat earlier, like, are you opposed to eating animal foods, let's say, on a what do you call it? Ethical basis, or is it an ethical thing for you, or is it purely a health thing? So in other words, if a doctor recommended you, hey,
thing.
So you just wouldn't try, at this point anyway, you wouldn't try anything like that outside of the vegan spectrum?
Well, I'm not vegan, so I would eat insects or worms, for example, just out of curiosity, because it is in the realms of a frugivorous diet.
Okay, fair enough.
So I do eat insects occasionally. I eat an ant by accident, and ants are interesting. They're good source of selenium, and they're kind of spicy. They taste like black pepper, and some of them actually taste like citrus, like limes.
Yeah, kind of acidic, aren't they?
Yeah, it's interesting. So I'd like to try crickets. There's actually a worm here in Borneo called the Saga Worm. It's they eat the coconut trees, and they're actually seen as pests.
Mm-hmm.
But if supposedly the worm is like very fatty and tastes like coconut, like kind of sweet
fatty worm.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. Somebody asked earlier in the chat about the crickets, because that's like the new thing in the whole vegan world, is like, why don't you move to crickets and oysters? And I'm just like, okay, not for me, but that's cool. But all right. Well, that's kind of the list of questions that I wanted to bring up. If you had anything else for me, fire it out there, and maybe we'll get it going with these guys. But yeah.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah.
So the average 70-year-old will eat 2,000 animals in their lifetime, and that's not even a person on a carnivore diet.
Okay.
How is that
really
sustainable?
Low.
How is that sustainable on a world scale for everyone to be carnivore?
I would say that it's sustainable because it's currently happening. So in other words, if it wasn't sustainable, it wouldn't currently be happening. It would be impossible for it to currently be happening.
Can I answer as well?
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Yeah, 2,000 animals, but for me, even on a carnivore-based diet, I'd only eat around 1 to 2 cows a year. So if I wasn't on like a pure carnivore diet, I would actually eat way less than that. So it doesn't work out 2,000 animals in my life. If I was on a carnivore diet and I lived to 100, that'd be 200 animals a year. 200 animals in 100 years.
He's saying okay, I got you. All right. So he's saying 2,000 animals in a lifetime. I'm saying that's really low. That's really low. I mean, yesterday I had a 4-piece chicken meal from El Pollo Loco. That's basically 2 chickens right there. That's 2 in one night for one meal. So I think that's really low. Now, I think it's a little bit of a vague question because 2,000 animals per lifetime. I mean, okay, are they chickens? Are they rats? Are they cows? Yeah. Like, if you're eating, obviously, 100, if you ate 100 cows per year, that's a lot harder to do than 100 chickens per year, which like basically grow like wildfire. You know what I mean? So the question.
So cows are more sustainable than chickens, is what you're saying.
Well, in 1 year, let's say if you were carnivore, thought experiment here. If you were carnivore and all you ate was beef, that's 1 cow per year for the average person. And that to me is sustainable. Yeah, that's sustainable.
What do you mean by sustainable? What is your definition of sustainable, and what metric of sustainability?
The amount of land needed to house these animals in the world.
So I got 2 cows just roaming around in my yard. And whose land is that? So that's my land that I own, right? I have my own cows, I got my own chickens. That's my own land, my own property. And if I can eat the food that comes from my own property without having to import a bunch of stuff, without having to use a lot of pesticides, and the chickens are breeding, and I'm eating the chickens, I'm eating the cows. How is that harming the planet, or how is that unsustainable?
Okay, I mean, if you do it in that way, I guess.
I do want to add something here. Austin,
Yeah,
because I guess I was gonna flip that question on you. I know personally people in Hawaii who had epic fruit farms and land that they grew on, tons of bananas, tons of varieties, even growing durian in quantity as well, selling it to the fruit markets. Even their own land, which was like 15 to 17 acres, massive property in the tropics, could not support their 2-person family on just fruit calories alone.
That's not a very large plot of land.
But if we were to compare that size of land with something like Tristan has, he needs less land to make it happen for his family, and he would be able to feed his family on less land than they were using for their fruit.
Yeah. But also, whose right is it?
It depends on your, on your permaculture setting. If you have densely populated forests, or if it depends how you set up. There's vertical gardening. There's ways to reduce your land needs.
Okay.
All right, but whose land is it though? Whose land? You're talking about land use. Like, land use is the issue. Feeding the world with a certain amount of land is the issue you're talking about, and that's how you measure sustainability. So do you want like a world body, a world governing council to decide how we use the land, or should I be able to decide how they use land in Thailand? Should you be able to decide how they use land in Bolivia to produce food?
No.
I think the whole land use thing, it's kind of a weird argument to use, because who decides how people use land, and whose right is it to decide what foods people want to grow, what foods people want to eat, and what foods people want to produce on their land? It's kind of a...
Let me also add in, I'm sure, Austin, you've done some research on this as far as cows grazing on land that wouldn't even be suitable for plant agriculture. And I could tell you right now that land that is literally in my backyard, just a few miles away, I toured a farm recently up in the hills there, and this guy owns 1,000 acres of this land is completely unusable for anything, not even building houses on. And he has a massive horde of cows, over 300 bulls that are an African breed, and they can actually sustain themselves off of the random shrubbery and garbage plants. They're basically weeds up there. And these cows, they graze and they grow on that land. And I mean, that guy is producing, thousands of pounds of meat per week, very sustainably. I mean, no issues at all. And it's a local guy. It's one guy and his son that run the whole farm. You know what I mean? And we could do that. We could multiply that by 10, 20, 50 times in just this area alone.
The thing is this will never happen, because the big corporations that own the beef industry are not going to allow people to have this free range, organic, naturally raised, because there's, it impedes on their business.
Surely doesn't the same go for like monocrops that are destroying our environment?
Yeah,
like monocrops.
Yeah, monocrops. I don't support monocrops. We should be living in permaculture forests.
Yeah, I agree.
What about in Europe? What about in Northern Europe? Should they live in permaculture forests? What about in Iceland?
I mean, it's not about not living in the optimal environment. Like, people who want to live there will move there.
I mean, if we're talking about sustainability, though, isn't there only so much land along that equatorial band that could even, like, if all 7 billion people on the planet say, you know what, we're doing it. We're all fruitarian. This makes sense. The world's going vegan today. Plus ants, vegan plus ants and worms. And they all flew to that equatorial band. There's not enough room there. You know that there's not enough room there.
This is such a hypothetical situation.
But you threw it out there because
this is not going to happen.
Okay, but you said it's not sustainable to grow meat, and I'm saying, as a matter of fact, it is sustainable to grow meat because we're doing it right now. It's the way of the world. It's already happening. What you're saying is not sustainable. It's already happening. What you're proposing, which I'm guessing is an all fruit based diet for everybody, which would be optimal, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, of course.
So that's the hypothetical, because it's not being done. We don't know that yet. That's the hypothetical. Right now, we're doing the meat thing, and this is a current functioning system, as messed up as it may be. Anyway, so... Yeah.
Okay, well, either way, whether you want everyone to be carnivore, I want everyone to be fruitarian, it's not going to happen because there's always going to be balance in the world. There's always going to be opposition.
By the way, I don't eat carnivore. I eat buns and candy.
I don't think anybody here advocates that everyone should be carnivore.
I definitely do not. I definitely do not.
I don't. No.
Even Sean Baker, like that, the guy who all the vegans hate, they think that he's like the head of all the carnivores. Sean Baker doesn't say everyone should eat a carnivore diet. So we're not saying that. I think what we all agree on, though, or I would say that what I think that Drew, Conscious Calisthenics, and myself all agree on is that animal foods are necessary, that animal foods are required for health, and that the deterioration that comes with an all plant food diet is something that we don't want people to suffer through. And I think he was saying something about like people giving a lot of negativity and haters up on your channel. I don't know if there might be people who are just cruel and who just want to, beat people up and insult people. But then there are people who see your channel, see your content and think this guy might be hurting himself. This guy looks alarmingly thin. It's not lean. We're thinking this guy looks like he's experiencing really intense deterioration. I'm not sure. Are you showing me the beard because you're saying that that's proof that you're not?
No, my face. Like you can tell. Like I'm not like all bone. Like
it's true. Your face, just in your face. Yeah. I do see a little bit a cheek. See a little bit of cheek. You're not that bad on the face. But I saw the video of the push-ups and it scared me, dude.
Yeah.
Like if I was your brother, if you were my brother, I would have cried when I saw that video, man. Like if you were my little brother and this was happening to you, I would have been in tears when I saw that video, man. And I've seen people and I've known people who've gone further down the detoxification pathway. And did you see what happened with Matt Monarch? Did you see the whole thing with Matt?
People get so obsessed. Yeah. And that's the thing is like, I was definitely obsessed with this fasting, and I changed my ways. Like, if you look at Fit Shorty Eats, they're a long-term fruitarian, and they promote eating a lot of fruit, an abundance of fruit. And they're strong, they're climbing coconut trees and they're doing all these things.
What about you? These people, that's cool. I haven't seen them, but what about you?
I know who he's talking about, and I have to say, I don't think they look healthy to me. I'm an average person. I don't think they look healthy.
No, they're both skinny fat. Like they're lacking muscle mass and they've got excess fat, but it makes them look skinny because they've got hardly muscle.
They don't need muscle mass, and they don't focus on building muscle mass.
Yeah, that's understandable.
We're not talking about being Ronnie Coleman. We're not talking about like Jack, like
just
John
a healthy amount.
We're like, look at a picture of Matt Monarch at 89 pounds. Can I pull that up and show you? Have you seen the picture of him at his very low weight when he was doing a lot of cleansing, fasting?
From fasting, yeah, I know people get obsessed with that, but we are not. We're not breatharians. We're frugivores. We need to be eating a lot of fruit.
Here's where I am willing to accept that statement. If you can be a frugivore and truly support a very quality muscle and body composition, then I'll have to just believe it. Like Ted Carr, for instance. Ted, as interesting as his body looks at times. Like who?
Like Danny.
Who's that? Dan McDonald?
Danny Glass.
Dan quit fruitarian a long time ago. He was experiencing issues.
Look at his body.
Yeah. What about it?
I was built on fruit.
No, I never did it on a fruitarian diet because at the time I was only doing cycling and running, so I was only doing pure cardio. And then once I stopped being fruitarian, then I started intermittent fasting, which I learned through science, and then started eating 2 meals a day of like 50% raw fruits, and then the rest was a shit ton of cooked food, like crazy. Then I switched over to 1 meal a day, but yeah. I'm not saying I couldn't have done it on a fruit-based diet. I'm not saying that at all. But
I'll say you couldn't. None of these people are going to build muscle or be strong on a fruit-only diet long
term.
Well,
he has pointed out that there's a couple people out there that do have solid physiques on a fruit-based diet. By the way, Austin, there was a lot of people that were saying that the Orville guy isn't actually fruitarian. I don't know if you knew that, but they're saying he's not fruitarian. I don't know.
You guys believe these influencers you see on Instagram? Drew, you know as well as I do how many liars, snakes, and shills there are on Instagram just looking for sponsorship cash, just raking in the dough, fleecing people.
I'm with you.
These people don't make money.
Austin is right. They don't make money.
They don't put ads on their stuff. So
here's the thing. Look, I know Ted Carr in real life, and Ted Carr was able to gain weight and maintain his body composition as you may think it looks muscular or not muscular, or he may look like a round, full-grown baby. If you say that, I don't know. I've heard that. But I love Ted. Now, Ted has looked pretty good at certain times, and he has done that on fruit.
You believe him? You think
he doesn't look good now?
Do you think he's a truthful, honest person? You know him very well. Do you think Ted Carr is a truthful, trustworthy, honorable, and honest person?
In the context of eating a 100% fruit and working out, I believe that he did that.
As a person.
As in the context of working out and eating that diet and putting on the muscle mass that he had for a few months, I believe he obtained that as a fruitarian. I'm not saying it's impossible. It's just unlikely that people are going to do that. Danny, go for it, please.
Well, I'm not going to say anything, but let's just say I was living in Phuket, right near Ted, and I saw certain things he was eating that was not fruitarian at all.
Whoa, what? We got some exposing going on? Dan, what are you holding out on us, bro?
And having to nap like 3 times a day because he's so tired so much, and started taking my chromium because
Ted did love his naps. Ted did love his naps.
Yeah, there's many things I found out once I started hanging around a lot of my fruitarian idols. A lot of them are lying. So many of them. So many of them got on my supplements because they were so deficient for so long.
I've got a question.
So many of them.
Danny, well, all right, so you were in the vegan movement for a while.
You've been around hardcore.
Dude, hardcore. You know a lot of the same. Like, I know some people that you know, like we know of people, we know stories, right? All right, how many of these people in the vegan movement who are so pissed at John Venus for saying he ate eggs last year one time, how many of these people do you think have maybe accidentally or purposely maybe got drunk, had a little bit of animal foods? How many of these people in the vegan movement are 100% vegan, 10 years, never done anything off plan, nothing off vegan?
There would be quite a few that haven't, but there's quite a few of them that say they're thriving when they're not thriving. They lie that they are thriving, and they got a lot of health issues and symptoms. Like Doug Graham's wife, for example, that promotes 80-10-10 diet. My girlfriend used to look after their children. She's been on thyroid medication for years. Rawsome Healthy, which is a YouTube channel, his girlfriend, they're one of the biggest raw food teachers out there. She's been on thyroid medication for ages. So many of them
iodine deficiency
haven't eaten the animal foods, and they are being legitimate. Well, so many of them aren't telling the full picture of how they are actually
right. They're on supplements either way. It's like, okay, cool. You're not eating eggs in the secrecy, but you're also supplementing your ass off, and you're still deficient, and you're not talking about that. And by the way, I know of other people that have issues, that have kids that are very famous on YouTube and Instagram that I can't share their names, that have secret health issues in the background. They're not even raw, but either way.
They never address the absorption issues. Their guts are not absorbing nutrients properly because they never take the time to clean out the terrain.
Let me talk about that real quick, because I did want to mention this earlier. I did buy into that when I went 30-day juice fast on John Rose's protocol.
30 days is not enough, by the way.
Okay. Well, here's what I'm going to say. I did heal, clean out, whatever, a lot of stuff that was in my intestines. A lot of stuff came out of there over those 30 days. Now, I lost a lot of weight, lost a lot of muscle mass. That being said, when I came back to eating whole food, plant-based diet, that was the best diet.
You weren't drinking enough.
Drinking enough what?
If you lost muscle mass, you weren't drinking enough juice.
Well, I mean, 1,800 calories a day, 4 32-ounce ball jars was about all I could stomach.
You need to double that. John Rose recommends 2 gallons.
Yeah, but that's impossible. Nobody's doing that. I was literally juicing oranges. Impossible? I was literally juicing oranges by hand for about an hour and a half per day. Nobody's doing that. Nobody's doing that. I'm calling that bullshit right now. Yeah, but nobody's doubling that. Nobody's doing it. Nobody's juicing for 3 hours a day and then managing to drink 2 gallons of orange juice a day.
Well, I bought some pre-juiced.
Okay, so I did too, and it was still a pain in the ass, but I did it. Okay. Anyways, my point here is that even that little break, that little fiber break or whatever it was, I had good digestion after that. I had good digestion for about 6 to 9 months, and I thought that I was on that next level. Like, I thought I was there. I thought I did it. I was like, okay, veganism and all this stuff is going to finally work for me. And then I kept going down the path, just eating whole food, plant-based, whatnot. And eventually I ran into digestive issues again, and then it was horrible after that. So I think that some people's digestive systems can handle it, some can't.
Well, you went back to the foods that weren't designed for the human organism.
True. Peanut butter, soy milk, things like that. Of course, yeah. But again, I did that because I couldn't maintain a healthy body mass. I really couldn't. And again, that's going to be dependent on the individual. You know, some people might feel comfortable at 5'11", 115 pounds. Some people might feel too big at 5'11", 200 pounds. Like, I don't know what people's, you know, desires and goals are.
I definitely weigh more than that now, by the way.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's good.
Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're? I'm sorry. I don't know your real name.
Are you live from a slaughterhouse?
Yeah. What's your real name, Rob? What's your real name? I don't want to call you Rob.
My name is Austin.
Austin. All right, man. Yeah, it's a funny question. This is a slaughterhouse. Yeah, no, I forget what I was going to ask you. Oh no, John Rose. You mentioned John Rose. Do you think that he seems like he's all there? You think he seems healthy and
for a 65-year-old man? Yes.
His teeth are very questionable, by the way.
All right. You think that's just on fruitarian stuff? It's just all fruit?
I think he eats 100% what he says he eats. No, I think he does.
No, he does not eat 100% all fruit. He eats massive salads too, because he's an athlete. He works out 8 hours a day.
I don't think he does that anymore, does he? He doesn't say that, does he? He did
says
before.
That.
No. Now he doesn't work out at all. He says that he works out barely.
How does he maintain his muscle?
He said he works out in like his apartment gym, like very minimal amounts. I think he says like 15 minutes a day every like 2 or 3 days. He when he's talking about working out 8 hours a day,
that's a testament as well.
I agree if it's true, which we don't know it's true because again, none of us here know him in real life, but I've had some interesting conversations with him on the phone.
We don't know any of this stuff until we try it ourselves, right?
That's correct.
So how long have you been fruitarian? How long have you been trying this, Austin?
3.5 years.
How much do you weigh right now?
I don't have a scale, man.
When was the last time you weighed yourself?
When I was in India after fasting, 115.
Okay. And you're 5'11", is that what Drew was saying?
5'11". And then, obviously I look in the mirror now and I've gained a significant amount of weight. I'm not like the picture everybody talks about on Instagram. I don't look at all like that anymore. My bones aren't sticking out as much. So.
And you're in Thailand, or where are you at right now?
No, I'm in Malaysia.
Okay. How long?
Give me 1 second, guys. I have to honor some super chats here.
Here comes a real steak.
Give me 1 second.
Just look at the texture.
J-Star wanted to say Raw Bliss. Hang on 1 second. We got another super chat rolled in. He said, Raw Bliss, don't be raw anymore. We don't want to see you get sick or die. That's from J-Star donation. And then Michael Joseph wants to know about what is everybody's thoughts on mucoid plaque. And somebody else said, is John Rose still a Nazi? We don't know.
Gosh.
Oh, gosh. See, it's interesting how this guy could have all these good concepts on biophotons and eating raw and all this stuff, and then he goes off the deep end with this crazy...
He doesn't have any good fucking concept. Biophotons and eating raw. Look at the fruits. Look at the fruits of his labor, dude. He's getting people to malnourish themselves. And all right,
he's healed so many people of degenerative. He's healed so many people of degenerative diseases. How can you say he's making people thousands of people?
No, we do not know that. We do not know that, Austin. Because by the way, he claims he has cabinets full of documentation of people that he will show people eventually. He has never shown any proof of anything he's ever said. The only person that's ever came forward of any notable public value is Fully Raw Christina. And by the way, she had videos back in the day saying that John Rose was a total creep and she was freaked out by him. And then even to the point where when I talked to him on the phone, he said that was false allegations. And then eventually, like 1 or 2 years later, Fully Raw Christina came up and did a video with him where she talks about John Rose telling her about this stuff. So apparently they rekindled something there, but there's been some unscrupulous talks and along the way here, dude. And honestly, I don't think he's healed very many people, to be straight up with you. Not many people are going 90 days on a juice fast like he says to do. That's crazy. That's crazy talk.
And I've met so many.
I've experienced it. It's amazing. Sorry.
And I've met so many people over the years that follow his advice, and the ones that do it long term, I've never seen anyone that is absolutely thriving to the highest degree possible. Never, like not one. So many Dr. Morse people.
I want to go back to the thing. People are not drinking enough juices. They're not eating enough fruits, and this is why people fail on the fruitarian diet. They're not getting enough calories in, and the
Well,
nutrient quality is not there.
Fruit in Thailand today, and that didn't give me all the nutrition I needed, and I didn't have digestive issues.
Thailand is like, the fruit there is not nutrient dense.
But not everyone lives in Borneo. We're never going to have access to this fruit that's the highest quality around the whole world and the globe.
That's why we have to eat fruit. That's why we have to eat so much, wide variety, seasonal, local. We have to do the best we can, get organic. It helps a little bit.
Hey, like I said, Ted Carr has maintained a reasonably full physique as a fruitarian. I think it's possible to do so, but again,
and he doesn't look as good now.
Right. Well, oh, you mean because he's eating cooked food?
Yeah, he looks inflamed.
Well, I always think Ted looks a bit roundish, to be honest with you. But either way, I mean, the thing is like that works for him. He's able to maintain that physique, but
yeah,
are you able to do it? Am I able to do it? Danny couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
We'll see.
It's up to you if you can do it. You know, and again, like Dan McDonald can do it, right? Like it appears Dan's pretty healthy looking, the Life Regenerator. But again, he's juicing like crazy. I don't know how he does it.
He eats a high carb diet. He eats a high fat diet as well. A lot of people in the fruitarian movement are
and enzymes and digestive enzymes, by the way,
and honey. You know, a lot of things.
He's a vegan. Right? He's a vegan. Every
he's
Hawaii
never claimed to be a vegan.
Every Hawaii vegan was a vegan. Everybody ate honey there. Everybody.
No,
even though that
he's
was
been
taboo.
Juicing every day. So that's another testament to the power of juicing.
Well, he also consumes a lot of. He also consumes a lot of fermented nut yogurts and a variety of other different things that aren't fruits. He doesn't actually consume that much fruit, and I know people that have been around him that can confirm this as well.
He juices a lot, you know. And I said this earlier. I think people who juice a lot as a standard practice tend to hold up better than like a standard vegan or a standard fruitarian because they seem to be getting more nutrition from their food since it's pre-broken down and they're just drinking the vitamins and minerals out of the liquid, you know.
Yeah, and the thing is he's showing himself drinking the juices every day. We were talking about like accountability earlier. Like we don't know this guy or that guy. Yeah. He's showing it every day on video. Like John Rose, maybe I could understand because he only shows a few videos of what he eats in a day. You know, people open to speculation, but Dan's showing it on a regular basis.
Right.
As I am.
I don't have any dispute with John Rose's claim that he eats a mostly a fruit-based diet. I don't have any disputes to that. I just think that he's not holding up as well as people think he is. You look at his muscle mass and you say, well, that guy looks great. Okay, fine. That's just his muscle mass. I look at his teeth. I look at the quality and the condition of his skin. It's not very good at all. It's not good at all.
He's got that like SoCal bum look going on. Like he seems like those.
He does.
You know, those twacked out bums who are just drinking all day, like drinking 40s and buying high school kids 40s on the beach in Carlsbad.
Are we talking about the same person?
Yes,
Dude,
we are.
He reminds me. If that guy was my uncle, I wouldn't let him. If that guy was my uncle, I wouldn't let him around my kids. You know what I'm saying? That guy seems like a freaking weirdo. Like, can we be real? Like, how delusional do we have to be to say that guy seems like a legitimate source of information? That guy seems nuts.
I believed in it for a second.
That's
I attempted it. I attempted it to the Moore gang. You know, I thought that it was possible.
We have to be nuts in this world.
And then we come back. We come floating back down to crashing to reality once we realize we need that factory farmed meat. Like I have come back to the reality.
You don't need factory farm.
Yeah,
no, you don't need
the grain-fed, antibiotic.
See, that's the thing. It's not all that, man. It's like you think that the fruits are somehow going to save the world, that they're so organic. It's like if you had a fruit forest, right? How are you going to keep monkeys away from that shit? How are you going to keep birds away from that fruit? Right? It's like we got a mulberry tree here. It makes a lot of mulberries, but most of those mulberries end up as shit from a bird on the roof of my car. That's where most of them end up. It's so hard to get them in a timely manner when they're ripe enough. You know, it's like you have to kill so many birds. You need so many pesticides and insecticides to export all these fruits everywhere. I mean, what about all the rodenticides and the pesticides and the insecticides and the fungicides?
We just do the best we can, man.
Factory farm meat. I agree. What are your guys' thoughts on mucoid plaque? What are your guys' thoughts on mucoid plaque? And I see Duran Rider in the chat. We might have to pull him in. Special guest.
A lot of people that seem
I
to
have to use the
pass
bathroom.
apparent mucoid plaque, they seem to have normally before consumed a lot of clay in water. And then what like comes out them seems to be clay that's just formed in the intestinal tract.
Interesting how every single case of mucoid plaque was preceded by a 3-day clay colon cleanse. Interesting. Wow. This is devolved either into the best chat ever or the most useless. I'm not sure, but I am laughing really hard and it's great. Durian Rider, how are you going to keep lions and tigers away from your meat forest? We got to bring him in here.
With guns.
With guns. All right. This isn't a vegan place. We keep them out.
We aren't delusional vegans who think you're not allowed to use tools, Durian Rider. We're not delusional predatory vegans who groom.
Whoa. They're of age. They are of age.
They're of age by the time he touches them. I know. By the time he touches them, we know.
Wow. Okay. Durian Rider. Any response to that?
Love you, Harley.
We do. We absolutely love Harley.
Every time I tune into this channel, it's Durian Rider. This is like, do you just give him the keys to the back end of the channel?
He's here. He gets to speak just like everybody else, you know?
Yeah.
This channel has become the Durian Rider experience, Luke Gear says. I'm sorry, Luke. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Sorry. It's Durian Rider's perspective. Another chat hijacked by Durian Rider. Time for me to leave the chat. Bye-bye. Durian Rider is a dick. I'm sorry, Susan. I'm sorry. It's just that, you know, the varying perspective is what keeps the conversation alive. You know, there's still people in the bodybuilding community arguing about high reps versus low reps for best muscle mass. Like now, like when it comes to food, there's about 1,000 times more complication, and we need the differing opinions and experience points. I'm sorry, we just do. Durian Rider is riding with freaking professional level cyclists. None of us in this chat can do that.
I'm sure he is. He's been saying that for years, right? I thought he trained Lance Armstrong. He taught Lance everything.
He did. Yeah, he did.
He knows. He trained Lance.
It's true. Him. It's true. Okay. Well, I'll ignore Durian Rider if you guys want. Just kidding. I'm not. I can't ignore. It's too good. Okay, man, that was a big urination, man. Your bladder is huge. The fruitarian bladder.
Tell you what, a lot of dragon fruit and papaya this morning. Very high water.
Yeah, I'm on low water.
Man. All our organs, 70% water, 80% water. The lungs need it to work properly. Do you guys have lung issues?
No. I actually healed myself from major scarring from having a rare type of pneumonia, and one of the times it almost killed me, and I healed it fully. So, yeah.
Nice. It's probably from being in Thailand, man. That pollution there is insane.
Yeah. So, where are we at, guys? You know, we have Austin here for a bit longer. If the chat wants to pop in with any questions for our guest,
something I want to mention quickly.
Yeah,
is like, yeah, you could build some muscle on a fruit diet. You could do it on a Twinkie diet. You could do it on a ketogenic diet. But certain diets are going to make it harder to gain muscle. Certain diets you ain't going to be able to optimize muscle growth, and the quality of the muscle maybe not that good. So it's like, it's a lot to do with just training. And if you want to gain muscle, eat a calorie surplus. Like it's a huge factor, sure. But obviously,
you need essentially
you need you need to optimize. Yeah.
Yes.
You can't do that on just fruit.
Some people are doing it though.
I'd argue that a fruit-based diet, you can do it more optimally because you have simple chain amino acids rather than complex proteins, which the body can't break down and use properly. The amino acids are what we need for our body to build protein.
Austin.
We can make protein.
Austin.
You know,
okay, so
there are
let me take this one, guys. So professional bodybuilding. These guys are getting paid a living to be the biggest, baddest guys on the planet. They're doing steroids. They're literally doing every single thing. They're willing to risk life and limb. Literally, Flex Wheeler just got his leg amputated 2 weeks ago. One of the most legendary bodybuilders in our era. These guys are willing to do whatever it takes. Why have they not transitioned to a fruit-based diet then? And why are they still eating a massively high-protein diet in terms of and from animal foods to get their gains?
because they don't know it's possible. People aren't doing this.
But you don't think they would have experimented with fruit and been like, damn, this stuff really works really well, and it actually works better than steak? You know, because steak is the staple.
No, because
you
we're
don't think
so
so
conditioned our whole
No.
lives to think that steak is.
But what about now?
Makes you
What-
strong and healthy.
But what about now? Because now we know that fruitarianism exists. So why haven't these guys caught on yet? I mean, you think that they're willing to try anything. They're willing to try anything to get that edge on the next competitor. One of our buddies, Jonathan Irizarry, by the way, IFBB pro level bodybuilder, guy weighs 260 pounds. He went on a fruitarian diet and he lost muscle mass, and he knows everything about dieting. The guy is a freaking tank. I don't know if you've seen him.
I think it's okay. So one of the things is
and he's on gear, by the way.
Because the thing is when you're on a fruitarian diet, you'll get lean body muscle. You're going to look like Orville Douglas. You're not going to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know?
But if objectively speaking, your lean body mass is going down, you are losing muscle and you are losing strength. Isn't that objectively getting weaker? We can agree on that, right? You are objectively getting weaker. So how can we say that that's
no,
not you. Well, maybe you, but I'm saying in general.
Not anymore. When I was fasting, yes. Not anymore.
Okay.
Austin, you said 3 years fruitarian. What was your body composition like before that? What'd you look like?
230 pounds.
Okay, so overweight.
Pure fat.
Buff calves. Strong calves.
I never had muscle, by the way, Tristan. I never trained. I never, could do push-ups, stuff like that.
Did you grew up in the States, like kind of sedentary, video games or what?
Yep, video games, drugs. I lived in Seattle. It's 10 months out of the year raining. Very depressed place.
For sure.
But Austin, you see my point here, right? If you're losing lean body mass and you're getting weaker, objectively speaking, you are not getting right. That is
Yes.
That is
yes.
So
yes,
if Jonathan Irizarry, pro bodybuilder, loses muscle mass, and this guy has every piece of knowledge about nutrition, and he's on steroids, and he's losing muscle mass, can't we agree there that fruit is not optimal for muscle building? I just agree with me there. I'm not saying you can't.
Because it might not be the muscle that he's losing. It might be the inflammation. There's other aspects to weight.
But again, the
muscle.
strength. But the strength is going down too. So the strength and the muscle mass is going down. So we can agree in that case that you must be losing muscle mass, regardless if it's inflammation muscle mass, regardless of what kind of muscle mass it is. Lean body tissue is lean body tissue. I don't think science makes a differentiation there, whether it's inflamed or not. I don't know if that's actually a real thing. I know Durian Rider used to say it in the day. Durian Rider used to say that. He used to say that, and I used to believe that. And I think it's bullshit.
Yeah, mate. It's just inflammation, or it's the creatine's making you inflamed.
That's my only point. That's my only point. I just want to say, yes, you can gain muscle mass as a fruitarian, but I can't sit here and let it slide that it's optimal for muscle mass when other people have tried it. Guys who are bigger than we'll ever be in our lives, and they are also on steroids, and they have lost significant amounts of muscle mass and strength. We can't sit here and say...
I know there's plant-based bodybuilders that are completely jacked, like swollen.
Right?
Yeah, but they have protein. That's why you can't build muscle.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is people who want to build these unnatural muscles, these incredibly huge, unnecessary muscles, then they go on an unnatural diet.
I would agree with that.
Well,
how do you determine what's natural? How do you determine?
Oh, here we go. Back to natural. Yeah, I know we don't live in a natural world.
You said it. What's natural?
Nothing.
Well, the good news is we have bodybuilders that we can look at from the golden era of bodybuilding, they call it. It's the early 1900s, 1900 to 1930. These guys did not have access to steroids. They weren't invented yet. They only had access to whole foods. No processed food was invented yet. They certainly were not vegan. They were not taking protein powders. And these guys were phenomenally jacked by even modern standards. And all they had was basically animal foods and working out. That's it. So we know that it's possible on that diet without steroids and without protein powders, but I have yet to see a vegan build any type of impressive physique without at least protein powders and digestive enzymes, probably the help of steroids. And Certainly not a fruitarian. I haven't seen it done yet. I haven't seen it done.
And again, diet is just a small piece of the puzzle.
But it's a big one.
And what doesn't
Air
make
quality.
sense? Something that doesn't make sense to me. Me and Ted Carr started training differently around the same time because we used to do a lot of cardio. He stayed on the fruitarian diet. I switched to like a mostly cooked food vegan diet. He gained muscle, but he gained so much water weight and excess fat and looked like he had a lot of inflammation. Yet I was lean and ripped like crazy on cooked food. Yet Ted wasn't. Yet apparently the cooked foods will cause me inflammation. Yet I had a better physique than him and looked more ripped and lean and having no inflammation, even proven for a CRP test.
Maybe from salt?
Well,
salt doesn't make me inflamed. I ate a lot of salt. Yeah, I ate a lot of salt.
I was eating so much salt, eating like Indian food and everything was full of salt.
I'm willing to call that a genetic difference. Ted always looks round. Ted is like a snowman. Like he just looks like he's made of balls.
Round.
He always does. Like no matter what he eats, you know, whether he's lean or whether he's got extra body fat on, he just kind of he always has that look. And to me, that's carbs. That's carbs pumping your muscles full of this like water squish. And that's the way people look.
Well, your muscles are 70% water.
But when we were fruitarian, both of us, me and Ted, our physiques look pretty much almost identical.
Oh, did they?
I thought you said you weren't fruitarian.
No, when I used to be fruitarian, we used to do cardio.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dan was fruitarian back when he was Sunfruit Dan on YouTube. Was fruitarian.
How long were you fruitarian?
2 years, and I thought moving to Thailand would make it better because the fruit would be better than England, and yeah, it didn't turn out that way.
Did
and
you
I was
notice
eating like a machine, like insane amounts? I could eat like 5,000-6,000 calories and still be hungry. It was insane.
That's my favorite part.
My nutrition needs.
That's part.
No, because it was creating an unhealthy orthorexic eating disorder for me. It wasn't good for me. And then I started eating foods that were giving me more the nutrients I needed, and then I needed less calories and gained more muscle.
I don't like eating that way, by the way. I don't enjoy eating 5,000 calories. I've never been overweight. I don't enjoy that at all. My little skinny frame, I don't want to eat food.
Yeah.
I just eat meat.
The amount of time it's taken out my day to shop and eat all that stuff and having to have ripe fruit and then fruit that was going to ripen, it's just like, oh my God, it started consuming my life like crazy.
Orangutans spend 8 hours a day. That's the main job as frugivores.
But I want to create the best life ever in so many ways, the best relationships. I want to be the biggest, best version of myself, be the best entrepreneur, help so many people transform their lives. If I'm focused upon fruit the whole time and getting it, like
it's
freed me up so much time so that I can consume more of what is important to me in life, rather than chasing fruit.
We should be focusing on spreading the fruit tree seeds, and then we wouldn't have all this pollution in the air if we had more trees in the world.
Well, we still would, because we still got the cars and everything else that are creating the pollution.
The ships, apparently.
Yeah.
The ships to transport the fruit. Ships apparently, like cargo ship apparently is like an entire LA's city's worth of pollution for the year or something like that. It's insane how much the ships are.
I want to say something about people who are eating these imported tropical fruits in America.
Okay.
They're not going to be as quality as if you were to get them at the source. It's better to eat local, seasonal fruits rather than eat imported, expensive fruits that had to be flown in a plane across the country. And it's not going to be as good. You're not going to enjoy it. And you just wasted, $30, $50 on a durian or whatever it is.
Yeah. I agree with that. I mean, when I lived in Hawaii, the fruit quality was better in some ways. Definitely bananas were amazing. Papayas were amazing. Everything grown in that environment was better there. Some of it was worse. The oranges were worse than I can get in California.
Most of the papayas in Hawaii are actually genetically modified, like really, really bad.
Yeah, they are. I mean, we got them that weren't. We got some that weren't, but I know what you're saying. And also we had local durian farms there that were incredible. I mean, it's incredible. But like durian is... Oh, I love durian. It's so expensive though, dude. So expensive.
Yeah.
It's like you need to basically be ballin' to have durian, or you have to live in Malaysia or something like that, and it's still expensive there.
Yeah, they have ones here that taste like Reese's peanut butter cups.
I saw your video with that the other day when you were with your buddies eating like just tons of durian.
And the texture is like a peanut butter frosting.
It's good, and I think there's a reason why vegans, I know you don't call yourself a vegan, but I think there's a reason why vegans and fruitarians are drawn to durian. I think there's something to that. The fact that
it's almost like a cooked food. Like it has, it has carbs, it has fat, it has protein. Like it's a full, it's got everything you need. It's actually almost identical to the nutrient breakdown of breast milk.
Got it.
Human breast milk, not cow.
Can you ask Austin if he thinks his current weight is healthy for his height? What do you think, Austin? That's somebody just threw that out there.
My current weight, as of late, yeah.
Okay,
I'm not muscularly where I want to be, where I can climb a coconut tree, but I'm getting there.
Is there anybody that you still look up to or watch on a regular basis in the vegan community, or I guess maybe you're tapped into the fruitarian community more?
I guess the thing is I look into everybody.
Yeah.
I don't really have I don't agree 100% with any of these people, especially this Lauren Lockman guy who promotes water fasting.
Right.
So yeah, I don't. Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. What do you think of him? I mean, he promotes water fasting, but is that something that is? Are you against that? I know you said you were against dry fasting, but.
Well, yeah, I don't really know about water fasting because I've never done it myself, actually. Mm-hmm. So I can't speak too much on it, but I know that frugivores don't drink that much water. They eat their water with fruits. Mm-hmm. So I never drink water. Like a handful of times, like if I can't get hydrating fruit, I'll drink water. But if I have access to coconuts and papaya, dragon fruit, whatever, it's not necessary. And there's actually an article I can link you talking about H3O2, which is structured water in the fruit.
I've heard of structured water, yeah.
So this you can't get in water, and it actually hydrates you better because there's an extra oxygen hydrogen molecule.
Yeah, that's
so
something
it gets
that
into your and long-term hydration, not just like for the day or something. It gets into your cells, and then like metabolic water, I think it's called.
Mm-hmm. So if we are indeed fruitarians, this is just kind of an off the wall theory question that I just came up with. Like, if we're fruitarians, would we then have to say that it would be impossible to be healthy if you're not a fruitarian?
I think we're so far from healthy that I don't think anybody's healthy, even the fruitarians.
Because of the pollution and stuff like that, and what we ate before fruitarian, you think that's that big of a deal?
Yeah, I mean, what our parents ate, what we've been eating for generations, like it's not going to happen like in one lifetime. We're fixing generations of eating cooked food. It's not something that we would thrive on originally.
Gotcha. Please do send me that article, by the way, about the structured water. A bunch of people in the chat want to check that out, and I'll repost it on my community tab later on because I'm interested in it too. And I have heard that saying. Jonathan Irizarry, our resident bodybuilder, just chimed in there. A resident fruitarian bodybuilder. So he's interested in that.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you eat raw meat?
My fish, I would eat raw. Yeah. I don't eat steak raw. I don't eat chicken raw for sure, or pork.
And why
raw.
Is that?
I think it tastes better when it's cooked, and I think as far as what's natural, I think we've been cooking for at least 1 million years that we know about. So I think that's quite a long time for our bodies.
1.9 million years. 1.9 million.
You don't believe that you would get more nutrients if you ate it raw?
I think that it's possible you may get more nutrients if you eat it raw. However, if you're eating twice as much food, you're going to probably still bombard the amount of nutrients. Like, let's say you cook a steak and you lose 10, 20, 30% of the nutrition out of it, which I don't know if that's even true.
50% of the protein is what I've heard.
Yeah. I eat liver completely raw. I drink blood raw. I don't cook it. Yeah.
I had raw liver the other day as well, by the way, at a restaurant. So I did have raw liver.
So you only cook because of taste?
Yeah.
Yes.
For me personally as well.
Yeah. For sure.
Okay.
I think it is better. In theory, it's better to eat raw food. Yes. I think in theory, it's better to eat raw steak.
You have no digestion problems with eating raw liver, Danny?
No.
None at all. Like, not at all. Like, no constipation, no diarrhea. It's just
there are some
fine.
foods that you have to.
And
how fast can you digest your liver meal?
Oh, it actually comes out really quickly. It's like it seems to go through my body as like quick as like fruit, like literally, but not like at speed.
Less than 24 hours.
Way less than 24 hours. Because when I first started, I fasted days before switching to this diet. Then I ate that food, and it came out of me, and you could see what was coming out of me, and it does come out of me really quickly. But if I ate it with starches and all that other crap like other people do, then yes, it would be way slow. But I find eating meat on its own is way different. And the reason why I eat cooked food, I was brought up on cooked meat. Like,
right.
So I'm just used to that.
Yeah, if we want to talk about the social...
Did the cow eat grains?
Do what?
You're saying you didn't eat starches or grains, but did the cow eat starches or grains?
My cows all are completely grass finished, so they are grass fed their whole life, pasture raised, completely free range. Not this free range in a factory. I don't contribute to factory farming.
Yeah, free range is just a marketing term.
Yeah, and I actually see where the cows, like their environment, they have complete access to free roam. They can free roam as much as they want. So yeah,
and you're in Thailand?
Yes, I buy it from a company called Paleo Robbie that imports it from Australia and New Zealand. Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah.
So it's flown in.
Yeah, because I don't have a choice. So I would prefer to not have to do that, but I'm not going to eat factory farm meat. No, there's no way I'm touching it for me personally. Yeah,
that's good.
I openly consume it. Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
there we go. Okay. I've got a question, Austin. Have you seen? You said you follow a lot of people who are in the vegan thing, and you follow a lot of other fruitarians, other raw vegans. Have you followed Matt Monarch over the years?
I haven't followed Matt, actually. I just saw recently about what happened.
Here, this is the picture of him right here. It's like pulled over my face. That's him at his lowest weight. I think he was 90 pounds or 89 pounds. I forget what he said. And then next to him, that's them. He's like trying to recover. He had to be on all sorts of pharmaceuticals and stuff because he was dying. He was legitimately dying.
Yeah.
This guy, his ex-wife, almost watched him die. She was trying to get him animal foods for a long time. She started feeding him animal foods. He was feeling better. His whole journey is really crazy. I don't think he's
and it has nothing to do with the fruitarian diet.
This guy was way into fasting and stuff. He wasn't doing a full-on fruitarian diet. You're right. He was not doing a fruitarian diet. He was way into fasting and stuff. But fruitarianism, essentially, it is fasting. Right, you're not
fasting. The definition of fasting is when you stop consuming calories.
No, it's a type of fasting. Actually, biblically, a vegetarian vegan diet is fasting, right? Like
fasting mimicking diet.
Abstaining from meats. You're fasting off of animals.
I guess it depends on your definition of fasting.
Okay, well, it's okay. We're not talking definitions, but Matt Monarch, you don't think he looks healthy at all, right? Like he looks really bad in this picture.
I don't promote fasting. So
what about his body composition on the left-hand side where he's skinnier? Like not the one on the right. The one on the right, he's starting to look more normal.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's ever had muscle mass, and then he lost all the fat from fasting. So that's what you're left with. Yep. Starting from zero.
He used to have muscle mass. You can look like 15 years ago at his early videos. When he was like out of college, he had some muscle mass, but I don't know. You don't think that's a healthy body composition, do you?
But on the right or on the left?
It's reverse for us, Tristan. It's reverse for us, Tristan.
Oh,
the skinny one's on the right.
Okay, that's weird. All right, it's reverse.
I mean, neither, to be honest.
Okay.
Hey, I agree. Neither. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's skinny fat on the left, and he's skinny on the right.
Composition. How far off from where Matt is in that picture do you think your body composition is? Like on the scale.
Oh, I look way better than that.
Okay.
But I've only been refeeding from fasting in India for the past 3 weeks. Like it takes time. Like people are just coming to my channel. You know, they didn't see what I was like for 3 years on a fruitarian diet. They're just seeing me after a long fast, a long hard time in India where I suffered. And yeah.
I looked all through your videos for the last 3 years because I was going to do a video on you, and all I've seen is you just go down and down and down and down and down and down and down. That's at least what I've seen.
I just
Down
want to pull
what?
up your channel. I want to see you kind of side by side with where Matt was at his worst, man. Because I'm telling you, Matt in that picture, he is legitimately nearly dead. He almost died. He had to be forced to go to hospital by
if you get under 2% body fat and you continue to fast, that's when you start losing your organs. You start eating yourself. You start Danny likes to use that word. What's that?
Autophagy.
No, it's skeletons. What's the other one?
Jack Skeleton.
No. Yeah, that one too. I forget.
It's funny.
Yeah,
okay, what's the point of this, Tristan? What's the point of this, Tristan? We know our boy Raw Bliss is a skinny guy right now, and
I don't promote fasting anymore.
I don't think that the fasting is the.
I'm looking at some of your pictures. It seems like you nearly got to the place where Matt is in that picture.
Yeah, and I'm very grateful I didn't. When you get to that low point, they say like you get a trigger for hunger.
Sarcopenia, guys. Sarcopenia.
Yeah, that's the one. You get an unmistakable hunger, and if you don't eat at that point, then you die. Like your body needs fat. It's very.
You can also get to a point where you're so used to it that it just switches off ghrelin production, which is what makes you feel hunger. And I've had that happen many times, even when I needed to eat. I was just so out of tune with it that the ghrelin production doesn't go up, so my body's used to fasting. So then I had to just be like, oh, okay, it seems I need to eat and I should eat now. And then just trying to get more in tune with my body because I wasn't for so long.
So how long were you into intermittent fasting?
Oh, I'm still doing intermittent fasting every day. I'm a huge advocate of it. I've been
dry fasting?
I was doing a lot of it before, but now a lot of it's just I do intermittent dry fasting with snake juice. It's created by Cole Robinson.
Yeah.
But I've been doing that for around 3 years. I still love it, but I definitely think that people, when they're doing intermittent fasting or extended fasting, you need to
19 hours.
It varies. Depends on my schedule, anywhere from 16 to 20 hours. But yeah, you need to be eating a diet that can give you back everything that you're losing while doing the fast. You need to rebuild. The fasting will induce autophagy, breaking you down, and eating induces mTOR, which builds you up. So it's anabolic and catabolic. So there's a lot of people that are not giving their body back what they need afterwards. So then they are deteriorating and becoming malnourished.
I agree.
Austin, do you know how much you weighed in your very first YouTube video?
When I was juice fasting?
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. It wasn't 230. It was a lot, because I lost weight before I started the fruitarian thing, from being vegan and vegetarian, and even before that I was cutting out like corn and wheat and like all this stuff, doing an elimination diet. And it was a long process, but I don't even know.
Hey, Austin, I'm going to pull up a picture of you. You put up this video on the 3rd of December. When did you film this?
Yeah, not too long ago.
You look skinnier than Matt there, dude. I mean, I'm being honest with you. Like, you look skinnier than Matt does in this other picture. Check out Matt.
Definitely not.
You don't think so? I got to find, let me find Matt. Dude, I'm going to try to get you guys both up there. You next to Matt. I'm telling you.
You can't really see my arms very well in that, but yeah, my arms are I definitely have some fat on.
Some fat on?
Compared to Matt.
Body composition in this picture? You think this is healthy body composition in your picture right now?
When was you at the waterfall?
I can't really hear Tristan.
When was you at the waterfall where you had that photo on Instagram that I've used many times, where you've come off the fast? How long ago was that?
That was right when I got to Borneo. So that was right coming straight from India, like 2 months ago.
Okay.
So I had no like nutrition, like the fruit quality there. You can't be fruitarian in India.
Look, Austin, the standard bodybuilding protocol. I know you don't want to be a bodybuilder. It's not what I'm talking about. The standard bodybuilding protocol for weight gain is 2 pounds a month. basically. Would you say that if you couldn't gain 2 pounds a month on average, that something is up with the diet? Would you be willing to agree to that?
Well, no, I don't think it's something up with the diet. I think it's something up with my training.
Well, they both go hand in hand. Like the training will push the food intake, which will then help you gain size, which will let you train harder, which will then let you eat more. It kind of all works in this beautiful cycle.
Yeah, we'll see.
So that's all I would say is that if you are trying to gain some mass and you're putting in some work, you're doing your push-ups, you're doing your calisthenics, that if you aren't able to see 2 pounds a month of weight gain, and yes, this requires weighing yourself on a regular basis,
you
need to make that executive call at the end of that month or two. If you're not gaining any weight, and right now, to be honest with you, with where you're at, I know you say you've gained some weight, but with where you're at right now, realistically, you should be able to put on even more size than that because of where you are right now. Like if you were already 180 pounds or something like that, like you start maxing out where you can't gain so fast anymore. And that makes sense.
That's why it's so great, because I took out all the things, like all the blockages in my body, so that now I can absorb properly and I can utilize the amino acids to build the muscle.
Hey, I'm with you.
Well,
I was there and I tried. I did the same. I know you said my 30-day juice fast wasn't enough, but either way,
I've done over 150 days on juices.
Great. All I'm saying is that I had the best digestion ever after 30 days juicing. So it did something positive for me as a vegan. Yeah. And then when I did eat quite a bit of calories, whole food, plant-based, I was not able to budge the scale at 136 pounds. I couldn't gain a damn pound. And that was with cooked food. So I'm just saying, if you're running into issues, which to be frank with you, I suspect will happen, in terms of weight gain, I don't see it as an easy path for you. But if you don't see it, then we have these objective sort of things like the 2 pounds a month, some target to shoot for. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just throwing that out there for you.
Well,
definitely.
Yeah.
You came on and talked to us, or that you allowed us to jump on and talk. I appreciate conversing with you, Austin.
Yeah, you guys too.
I think I'm probably gonna run soon, but
me
I don't know,
too.
do you have family back in the US? Do you have family back in Seattle?
Of course. Yeah. My mom, I'm contacted with her on a regular basis. My grandma, my aunt, I'm pretty close with my cousin. We're both only child. So that's pretty much, we have a pretty tight, small family.
And what does your mom, have you talked to your mom about the diet, the things that you've been doing? What does she say? Does she think you're at a healthy weight? Does she want you to gain some weight and gain some fat?
Of course, yeah.
Some healthy fat on the body and some muscle and stuff.
Oh, definitely.
That's the thing is, it's like you're talking about building muscle, but the body fat levels, they got to go up for you to be healthy, man.
And I noticed myself building fat as well.
I hope you can get some good weight on, man. You need to put some muscle on. You need to put some fat on. Because legitimately, dude, if you were my little brother, I'd be super worried about you, man. I'd be super concerned. Yes. But I want you, like, take this to heart. Who cares about all the internet stuff, all these people online? Who cares what these people think? You have family who love you. You got a mom who loves you. Maybe you should go visit her and go hang out with her for a little bit, and go hang out with your grandma for a bit. And like the people that you're with now, they'll accept you back later on. They're cool. They're doing their thing. You should go maybe hang out with your family for an extended period of time, and they can help you put on some weight, man. You need the support. You need people around you who love you, and your family's going to be there for you, man. So I'm gonna take off, guys.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Tristan. I was gonna say, I am around people that love me. I love my family, but at the same time, I am around people who support me and support my journey as well.
All right, man.
It's good. Well, you will find the way either way.
Take it easy, Tristan.
Tristan. Take it easy, man. Bye. Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to see what happens in a year with the muscle gains.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see.
Exciting, right? I love experimenting.
Yeah, and then we see if it's working, because like I said, you think it's working, other people don't think it's working, but it's just like the long term. We've just got to see, and that's all. And
I'm getting quite motivated. That's what I was lacking, like, for the longest time, to actually pursue like calisthenics and exercise in general.
Yeah,
I've always been like a lazy guy.
Yeah, and that's what says brilliant about Austin. Like, he has listened to some of my calisthenics advice. He has contacted me about it, and I do see he's trying to eat more food, which is really good. So it could quite possibly go in the right direction. He's definitely, waking up to a lot of things and making a lot of positive changes. So we'll see.
Even Jonathan
especially
piped
the fats. Fats are key.
Well, fats is going to help you
durian
put on more mass a little bit more easily. This takes up less stomach volume. You know what I mean? Jonathan Irizarry said that if you train for muscle mass and you do eat enough food, that you will be able to make some gains. And he coaches vegans, actually, even though he's no longer vegan. But he's coached some pretty high level vegans, man.
Didn't he meet with Bobby's Perspective sometime this year? I was going to meet him in Bangkok
in Thailand.
At one point. Yeah.
I think that was his first week back, and he's just like, oh man, like I'm back. You know what I mean?
It's a strange place for a carnivore, though, don't you think, Danny?
What's that exactly? Sorry.
Being in Thailand?
Well, I love Thailand. I love Thai people. I love the Buddhist way. So
of course.
It's just I love the environment. I love the sea. I live on the tropical island, Koh Phangan. So it's like,
oh, you're on Koh Phangan. Nice.
Yeah, it's like out of anywhere I've been, it's my favorite place. But I definitely in the future will probably move to somewhere like Hawaii or Ecuador or something like that. But for now, I'm here.
Yeah, I'm also looking towards Hawaii and Costa Rica, Ecuador. I really like Bali, though. Have you been to Bali?
Yeah. No, my girlfriend lived there for ages, and especially in Ubud, it's like full on crazy. Like, it's very polluted, very busy. So
But if you go to the north, like, you can find some beautiful, like, serene villages with all the locals. And
nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I think it's a good place to end, guys. We've gone a little over 2.5 hours with Austin. I know you said you needed to go too, and we'll end with you guys. Danny,
that durian, man.
Get to the durian, baby. All right, guys. Well, Danny, thanks for coming on a little short notice.
Yeah,
welcome,
thank you.
Thank you so much, Drew.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming
on.
Peace, guys.
Thank you. See you, man. Bye.
All right. Much love.
All right, guys. Raw Bliss. Thank you all for coming on, Danny, Tristan, and Raw Bliss. And I think that was a good episode, guys. I had a good time talking to Austin, surprisingly open-minded, especially speaking to Tristan and Danny there at the end. And, he has become kind of the interest of the carnivore community for whatever reason. The carnivores have been, ever since Sean Baker brought him onto his channel, he's talking about him. I didn't know about Raw Bliss, Austin, until Sean Baker brought him in. And really appreciate him coming in. To me, my assessment of Austin is that he is a normal guy beyond the fruitarian diet. And Austin, if you're hearing this right now,
cranberry juice, it's great.
JG Lee,
your penis or vagina.
JG Lee, appreciate the donation, brother. Thank you. You're always a supporter, man. Great job, Drew. Very moving with Tristan straight talk, and Danny was great also. Good luck to Raw Bliss. Yeah, it was a good combination because Danny's been coaching Austin, I guess, behind the scenes a little bit, and of course Tristan with the brotherly love there. And hey, Dylan, thanks, bro. New subscriber, thank you. You guys like the stream, so that's great. And again, some people get tied into, and Austin, if you're watching this, do you, man, keep eating the fruit. Like I said, I would take some objective measures on trying to gain the weight personally. That's what I would say, even whether you're fruit-based, vegan-based, meat-based. I think that at this point, gaining some mass, and it sounds like you're on that path, and now you have some objective goals.
Don't vape. Don't vape. We don't like vaping.
Hey, thank you, Susan, for the $2. Appreciate that. She wrote nothing, so we got the things flooding in. Guys, make sure you like the video if you haven't already, and subscribe. The numbers are popping off on this channel right now. Somebody gave me crap for hiding my subscriber count. Guys, you have no idea how YouTube works behind the scenes, okay? Okay? Just keep it to yourself. Anyway, so what happens, what I see with a lot of people is they get on a fruitarian diet and they become crazy, or they're crazy and they get onto the fruitarian diet. I don't know what comes first, but Austin is not crazy. He's a normal dude that got onto the fruitarian diet. My suspicion is that it gave him what he wanted, which was effortless weight loss, and he stuck to it, and he felt pretty good, okay? I understand that this happens to people, But I think now with a little bit more of an objective sense of weight gain and where his strength could be, I think that he will be that much more tapped in, tuned into what his potential is, because he could easily stand to gain a few pounds. That's my opinion about it. And I think he knows that. So, I think that we have to let him ride, man. And he's got his friends there around him, And I've been in that situation where everybody's into the fasting, into the water fasting. I knew guys that were 6 feet, 5 inches tall, that were weighing like 160 pounds, that were obsessed with continually losing weight. And guess what? Every single one of these people used to be overweight. So there's something about the starting out overweight thing that gets into people's heads. Because I have the opposite thing, guys. I've always wanted to gain weight in my life. I've never been the overweight guy. So I can't even get onto their wavelength about being okay with being too skinny. I'm not down with that. I'm always fighting my weight, trying to get my weight up, be stronger and bigger. And they're always trying to fight the opposite angle. They're trying to avoid gaining any weight. And they get down to 115 pounds, at 5'11", and that's not a healthy place to be. Objectively speaking, that is not a healthy place to be, medically speaking. And I think that just in general, it pays to be a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger and bulkier as a guy. And I think, if Austin was open-minded enough, I would feed the man some animal foods. And I think that would help him out a lot, tremendously. Dylan says, I'd like to see him get lab tests and weigh himself as for some objective evidence and bars. Yeah. Is he a rapper? Is Austin dropping bars? WT is 148 and climbing. Marielle, you're a rare breed, Drew, the gaining weight. Yeah, but I started out at 128 pounds or 123 pounds at 18 years old on my fitness journey. Crux says, I'm 6'4 and 140, 6'4, 160. I eat lots of meat and plenty of carbs and won't gain a thing. Crux, I have an interesting thing for you, and I'm putting together this little Drew Morg thesis. Drew Morg thesis about skinny people who can't gain weight. Either A, you're not eating enough food, which I'm sure you've been told that before, but B, and this is what's not talked about, I think you have absorptive issues and there's possibility of fungal candida overgrowth in your system. Go eat some damn raw garlic every single day. Eat 1 clove of raw garlic with at least 1 or 2 meals a day. Get back to me in a week. Tell me your weight doesn't start going up. Because you probably have some sort of fungal overload in there that's eating your food before you actually get to absorb it. I swear to God. I'm on that right now. My weight is going up right now because I started eating garlic. It's killing the fungus in there, bro. People are like, you got to eat big to get big. You can only eat so much. And if you're eating big and you're still not gaining weight, of course you can eat trash and gain weight. You could just load up on Ghirardelli chocolate all day long and gain weight. That's not what I'm talking about. You should be able to gain solid, healthy muscle mass over time by eating what you're truly hungry for. Animal foods, etc. Seeking truth. I know you guys, by the way, if you guys are shouting me out in the stream and you guys are asking me to ask stuff, I see it, but I can't always get those words in. So I hope you understand. Sometimes conversations go on and it's a give and a take with the guests. It's a give and a take with other people in the stream. I don't want to ruin their flow. And I can't always just drop in every single suggestion. So I hope you guys understand that. And I hope you guys can be cool. Jake Chessie says, when I eat raw garlic, my head gets all messed up and I have insane vertigo to where I can't even walk. Interesting. How much raw garlic are you eating? I'm talking about 1 clove. Cut it up and I eat it with my food. Yeah, I think you should just eat some animal foods. I wish, But look, you're not going to get a fruitarian vegan to eat animal foods overnight. They're going to need to do their thing. Here's how it works. He's going to need to do things his way. And he's going to need to prove to himself that it does not work his way. I know that because I'm that way. I try to go against the grain and not do protein powders and not do cooked food and all the bullshit, and it didn't work for me. And I was like, okay. And then I keep stepping up the ladder. Okay, I guess I need protein powder. Okay, I guess I need soy milk and peanut butter in order to gain more weight. And guess what? It ruined my digestion. And so I had to leave that diet. And you got all these whiny vegans yelling at me, telling me I didn't do the diet correctly. I did every single version of the diet. They didn't do what I did. I did juice fasting. Yeah, I don't believe in fasting if you're eating a correct diet. I'll never fast again in my life. Why would I do that? Why would I do that? Raw garlic is really bad for gut flora. How do you figure? Raw garlic kills fungus. It doesn't kill bacteria. So it's going to kill the bad guys. It's going to leave the good guys. Antibiotics will kill everything. That's what I've read anyway. Don't quote me. That's what I've read. It's extremely toxic, inflammatory for me. People are saying that they can't handle garlic. Okay, hey, I don't know. The first night that I tried the garlic, I threw a clove in my mouth. I chewed it up straight up raw. I had no idea how bad it was going to burn. I swallowed it, and I felt like I had electricity going into my fingertips. Not in a good way. It hurt. I was like, oh, it was like a brain freeze. Didn't feel good at all. But then after that, I learned to cut it into little pieces and then swallow it with my food rather than like chewing it up and eating it all at once. I had to try it once. J-Star wants a blue spanner, please? Nah. We don't give them out. We don't give them out. I know you're a supporter. I know you're a donor. I can't give them out to everybody. You need more good bacteria and they'll balance the bad ones out. Yeah, but the thing is, Tiana, if you have too much bad fungus in there right now, you need to kill that shit before you can actually rebuild the good bacteria. That's what the gut rebuilding experts say. And I have struggled with that for a long time. People are saying garlic kills everything. Hey, I don't know. It's working for me. I had beans and rice last night, and I had no bloating and no gas today. It was very nice. Just don't get stuck on garlic forever. I plan to do it for like 30 days. No, I'm not doing it forever. Trust me, it's a pain in the ass. J-Star says, Drew, do you ever have any days where you don't want to eat any red meat? Every 3 days or so, I don't want it, then it picks up. No, I eat red meat every day. I usually either eat ground beef or steak every day, sometimes both in the same day. A lot of times both in the same day. WT says, I believe in bad decisions and stubbornness. No such thing as mental illness. Brain damage is real, though. I would be worried about under-eating for a very long period of time, such that you are cannibalizing your fatty tissues to stay alive, like your brain and your heart and your organs. I don't think it's a good thing to be 2% body fat. Yeah, I don't see it. And I think it gets into some real serious danger when we don't have any objective measures to look at, and then we're just kind of like floating out in the world and we're just doing our thing. Like, nobody in Thailand is going to tell Austin that he's looking too skinny. You know what I mean? Hey, later, RC. A lot of love in the chat for the moderator. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Tristan says, wow, beans with no farts? No taken. Yeah, man. And I eat that same meal all the time. And I have some gas with it. Not enough to like, cry about it, but there's something there sometimes. Tiana says, have you tested your stool? I have, and had no fungus overgrowth, but had symptoms. Seems to be okay now. I was taking powerful herbs to kill the bad stuff, but it didn't last. Probiotics too. I've taken probiotics and I didn't have success with the probiotics. So I don't know what to say there. I have not had the stool tested, no. Only thing I've ever been tested for is H. pylori. And it came back negative. That was a while back, a long time ago. I think I took that when I was 28 years old, right before I went vegan. When I had mononucleosis, I was very, very sick for a month. It was terrible. They're trying to figure out what was wrong with me, but we pretty much knew right away. Yeah, I know. The long-term effects of anorexia are no good. Yeah, I know. I'm reading what you guys are saying about the, Austin potentially not understanding how he looks when he looks in the mirror. We're all like that to a certain extent. Like I said, when I did my juice fast and I dropped down to 135 pounds, I didn't think I looked good, but I didn't think I looked as bad as I really did. And when I took pictures of it and then I saw myself later on, I was like, wow, that was really, really bad. That was really terrible. I was going to pull up some pictures, but they're not easily accessible. They're on my phone. One thing that Durian Rider Cycling Tips is very right about is that if you want to grow your YouTube channel, upload regularly. He has uploaded daily or many times a day for many years. That is true. Durian Rider is correct. JG's trolling? Nah, come on. Big supporter of the channel. Love JG Lee. Bought me a book. I need to read that book, by the way. I haven't done it yet. An easy way to calculate how much protein you need is 1 gram per pound of body weight. Simple, simple. You weigh 100 pounds, eat 100 grams a day or more. And that's pretty easy to do. I'm eating like 200 grams a day. I weigh 148 pounds or whatever. If you guys want to put on mass, put on muscle mass, and you guys are struggling, simple. You need to do more reps. Take a high volume approach in the gym. 3 sets of whatever exercise, get 10 to 12 really quality reps in. Take your time, take it slow. Make sure you work that muscle, work that groove, work that groove. Don't be trying to do powerlifting movements, straining your body every single rep. You're not going to get any size that way. You need to do reps. You need to move multiple reps. And then you'll get hungrier and you'll eat more and then you'll gain weight. You'll gain muscle mass. That's how I'm putting it on right now. It's coming on quick. It's very nice. Tiana says, I tried many probiotics and none really made a difference or made it worse. Finally found the ones working for me. Don't mean to come off as pushy. No, it's not pushy at all. No, I get you. I've tried 2 different kinds of probiotics actually. One while I was still vegan, did not help. It was that BioK brand, very expensive brand. And it didn't work for me. And I did it for like 60 days or something. It was really expensive. And then I did it again recently. I did a video on it on my channel. And it was okay. It worked while I was on them and gave me maybe like an extra 2 weeks, but then it went back to normal. But again, digestion is very finicky and picky. Like, you might be able to get away with some things. It might not be specifically one food that will trigger you over the edge. It might be a combination of foods. And then if you remove one of them, the other foods are still inflammatory to your gut, but they're not causing you so much issue that you think you need to take them out. Does that make sense? There's like a threshold. Like let's say I do Monster energy drinks. Those are inflammatory to my gut for sure. But if I do Monster and spices on my steaks, like we're talking oregano and paprika and all this stuff, those 2 together give me horrible digestion no matter how clean I eat. But if I take one of them out, if I take Monster out and I eat the spices, my digestion's fine. If I take the spices out and I drink Monster, my digestion's fine. So both of them together is where I'm over the threshold. Now I have issues. I hope that makes sense. Really Organic says, no, it is 1 pound per kilogram, not 1 per pound of body weight. We are eating too much animal meat from protein because it gives us too much iron. Bodybuilder Dr. Gare, I've never heard of people having too much iron. I know you've been telling me this for days. I don't believe it. I think it's bullshit. There's other people who are also really smart that talk about it that say there's no issue with that. Luke Gear says, anywhere else we can donate besides Super Chats? Yes, you can donate to PayPal. I'll post you the link right here if you're interested. Let me see here, sir. It should be Drew M. /Drew M. PayPal.com/Drew M. Yeah. That way, greedy YouTube won't take their cut. I think that takes you straight there. J-Star says, I tried a white Monster. It was horrible. Yeah, so I I don't know. I'm dumb. I never learn. So I bought 4 white cans of Monsters the other day, and I've been drinking 1 per day, right? So what I've been noticing is that my intestines feel like warm at the end of the day. It's kind of like there's just like, it's kind of like if you were to walk too far and your knees kind of feel warm and they kind of hurt, they're achy. That's how my gut feels after I drink a white can of Monster. Seeking Truth says, do you eat honey? No, I just don't really find a place for it in my food consumption. I don't really have a reason to add it in to where it would taste good. I'm not against it. I just like don't come across it very often. I would eat it. I think Really Organic's coming from that vegetarian mind state. You know, she's still a little worried about eating meat in general. I just wouldn't worry about it so much. Yeah, Luke. YouTube takes like 30 or 40% of the super chat money. It's crazy, but it's great. I mean, it's fun for interaction, and I like you guys to get a little something out of the little donations with the alerts. Oh, the Java Monsters were disgusting. Do you consume dairy? Yes. I've been drinking a lot of standard off-the-shelf whole milk lately. I feel great. I feel great. My digestion's good. I feel strong. I'm eating the most basic meats and milks, and I feel great. So I'm kind of just trying to prove to myself like what is necessary and what's not. Yeah, of course I would like to eat grass-fed, raw milk. I would love to eat grass-fed ribeyes all day long. Who wouldn't? It does taste better, and I do think it's slightly healthier for you. I do think you get a little more nutrition from it. But I still feel good eating all this other way. So, whatever. Four Locos. Oh my God. Those were banned for a while. Remember that? Four Locos. All the college kids were drinking those and like hazing each other in college, jumping off the roofs and shit like that, hurting themselves. Why would you drink Monster? So bad for your gut. I'm dumb. I don't know. I shouldn't do it because I enjoy the mental stimulation. I enjoy that like caffeine high because I don't do any drugs and I don't drink. So it's fun for me to drink some Monster and get a little bit of a buzz. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Monster's no good. If I just drink coffee, because it's so much lower dosage, I don't really have an issue. I can drink like 2 coffees a day now. No problem. Please don't. I can't leave coffee behind. Come on. Drew Morg, you can give me any kind of feedback you ever want. I so appreciate it. I hear you. We have to harden our hearts and swallow our tears about eating our friends. Ah. Come on. Get over it. They get a bolt in the head. They're fine. They're fine. You're just lucky. You don't have to be there for it, you know? Just eat the meat. You're good. You're good. You're good. Sunshine State says, I've never had milk. I bet it's tasty. I bet ice cream is good too. Milk is amazing. Whole milk is bomb. Like, I can easily get away now with not drinking any sodas anymore. I used to love sodas. If I drink milk now with my meals, I'm over soda. I don't need it anymore. I think it's good for your teeth. What are you guys talking about? Bad for your teeth. I hope you're not talking about milk. Luke says, I really like super chats, but if I want to donation account, I prefer to avoid them. Also, yeah, man. Hey, I'm with you, baby. I need to do a thing where I can honor people a little bit better in the chat without giving them the wrench. I want to make them green. I know there's a way to do it. I need to figure it out. My coffee is brewing. Thanks for reminding me. Aaron Morgan. Not related to me. Andrew Morgan. But hey, drink that coffee. Carnivore says chocolate makes him high. I believe that. You can get some really high dose cacao and it can make you feel some type of way. I've had it. It's real. Why not debate vegan gains? What are we going to debate about? The debate is over, man. The debate is over. There's no debating vegans. The debate is over. All you need to do, all he needs to do to debunk every single study that he has is go eat high quality animal foods for 1 week straight and come back and tell me that he doesn't feel better than he does right now. I will bet $1,000 on it. It's a wrap. The proof is in the pudding. but vegans are not willing to actually put the experience to the test. So what is the point of even arguing with them? Like, they could go prove it for themselves by just doing it, but they're not going to do it. So what is there to talk about? The messed up thing is that buckshot contains lead. My dad was a big time hunter. I bet that's why he's an asshole. You know, you're not going to kill a deer with, well, yeah, I guess you could kill a deer with buckshot, but you're not going to kill a cow with a buckshot. You're going to shoot a cow with a jacketed hollow point, or a jacketed, not a jacketed, sorry. You're going to kill them with a full metal jacket round. The lead won't even touch the animal. So, whatever. I think it's a more or less painless situation. All right, guys. We are going to shut down the stream now. We've gone about 3.5 hours today. Thank you so much for being here. I would implore you all to like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. I would really appreciate that. We are making very regular content around here. The community has been amazing. The channel is absolutely blowing up right now. And I think somebody asked what the subscriber count is. We've surpassed 5,000. That's all I'm going to say. I'll let you know when we hit a big number. I'll let you know when we hit a bigger number. So pick a number, and I'll let you know when we hit that way in the future. All right? So again, please subscribe. We're doing regular content. I'm doing edited videos, live streams like this all the time. We've got a lot of special guests on. If you want to see certain people on the channel, let me know who you want. I will reach out to them, and we'll see if we can get them on. And I enjoy all the conversations, whether they're vegan, fruitarian, meat eater, carnivore, whatever. They don't need to necessarily be on my side. We will have a solid chat with them. I'm sorry, Panocha. You just got here. You want to hear when we hit 10K? All right, I'll let you know when we hit 10K. I'll let you know. Anyway, guys, once again, really appreciate it. We're going to shut it down right here. Time for the outro, baby. Peace.